and Randall Cunningham conduct entirely different orchestras, yet both are two of the game's great impressionists, a pair of maestros with singular styles. And tonight the curtain rises on yet another performance. Wildcard picture today with a hard-fought win over the Bears. Their half game up on the Eagles. After that, it's open to anyone who can get to 500 among Green Bay, Dallas, Minnesota, and New Orleans, all at 6 and 7. In the AFC East, Buffalo is now a game and a half in front of Miami after another dominating performance this afternoon. The Dolphins have to win to keep pace. They are obviously the only ones in that division in contention. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Patrick, and thanks for being with us tonight. Randall Cunningham may be the best athlete who has ever played quarterback in the National Football League. This year, he has a chance to throw 30 touchdown passes and rush for 1,000 yards. No quarterback in the history of the NFL has ever rushed for 1,000 yards. As always, it's my pleasure to be working with Joe Theismann. And Joe, when you look at Cunningham and defenses look at him, it's just a nightmare.
It really is, Mike. You know, he is truly the premier playmaker in the league today. As a quarterback, he does everything. Evidence of fact against New England, threw 4 touchdown passes, rushed for 124 yards. He's led his team in rushing for the last 3 years, and this year he is responsible for 82% of their entire offense. The Dolphin defense has suffered from a confidence factor. They felt like the thrashing they took from the Redskins last week was something that they had to rebound from tonight. Certainly don't look forward to rebounding against Randall Cunningham.
Dan Marino owns a ton of NFL passing records. He's approaching several others. But this year, his numbers are down. He doesn't even have a 300-yard passing game.
Dan Marino is not the Dan Marino that we've all become very accustomed to watching. Here's a guy who has gone out through 48 touchdown passes in 1983, but yet this year only has 14. But he's a much more complete quarterback. Part of the reason why he hasn't thrown as many touchdown passes is because the Dolphins finally have a running game to help him out. But you can forget about what's happened this year as far as the Dolphin offense goes. Tonight, with the blitzing pressure defense of the Philadelphia Eagles, we get a chance to see if the Dolphins want to win vintage Dan Marino.
Don Shula chasing George Halas, all-time record of 325 victories. He goes for 295 tonight. Buddy Ryan, of course, long-time assistant in this league. In his 5th year, he has built the kind of team that he wants. He has his kind of players. This is a Buddy Ryan football team. The Eagles have won the toss and will receive the opening kick. Stoyanovich set to kick, and Thomas Sanders, number 45, the center deep man for the Eagles. We're underway in Miami. Sanders drifts back into the end zone, 6 yards deep. He'll keep it there. And now for tonight's die-hard starting lineups. Randall Cunningham is the most dangerous offensive player in the game, second in the conference in pass rating, sixth in rushing. Keith Byers, a tremendous all-purpose back, now leads the league in catches and yards for backs. The trade for Ron Solt looks pretty good now. The one-time Pro Bowler is back in form after recovering from knee surgery. A little chilly in Miami, but the weather should not be a factor at all. Heath Sherman gets 3 and stopped there. The Dolphin defense is getting a big year out of defensive end Jeff Cross. He has 10 sacks. John Offerdahl has been to the Pro Bowl 4 times in 4 years. He's been healthy most of this season. Leads the team in tackles. Tim McKyer strengthened an already good secondary in 1 year. The Dolphins have gone from number 18 in pass defense to number 1 in the NFL. Physical teams have had success against the Miami defense by trying to pound it at them. We'll see if the Eagles try to do the same thing. Barnett and Williams is the wide receiver. 4-man rush, some pressure, throws short to Jackson. Odom, one of the tacklers, got him near the 30-yard line, which is where they needed to go for the first down.
And that's one of the things that the Dolphin defense did not do well against the Redskins last week, is tackle people once they had the football. On that particular play, Randall Cunningham saw the pressure of the corners by the defense, audibilized to some type of play to take advantage of the speed of Williams and Barnett. The defense backed out. He went to his all-time catch-all favorite individual, Keith Jackson.
And it is a first down for the Eagles. Buddy Ryan likes first downs. He likes to keep the sticks moving, even though Philadelphia has become known as a big play team. Sherman hit at the line of scrimmage, bounces off, gets a couple. Sherman, the first Eagle since 1981 to have back-to-back 100-yard games. Wilbert Montgomery last did it in 81.
And on that time, they need some pressure from Jeff Cross and T.J. Turner at the ends. Let's Cross, middle, 91. You see the guard fire out on him. That's Tamburello. But he manages to take both of them on, steer the runner back into his friends.
Mike Shadd, the starting left guard, has been replaced by Ben Tamburello in the Eagles lineup. Cunningham's delay to Sherman. Maybe a yard. John Offerdahl, 56, is always going to be around the ball.
Offerdahl is truly a Pro Bowl player. You know, Mike, it's interesting. He had a sore shoulder, but he's the guy who's lined up year in and year out. He's been really, I think, the captain of that football team from a leadership standpoint, from a performance standpoint. He's going to be there to make plays.
3rd and 6. Look at how they have done against the run. When they play it well, they win. When they don't, they lose. Three-man rush. Here's where he's most dangerous. And they got him, and it may be shy of the first down. That defense collapsed. Sean Lee, number 98, was in there. Jeff Cross closed on it. And apparently they stopped Cunningham short of the first down.
Most football teams want to play Randall Cunningham what we call a spy. Somebody, either a linebacker or a defensive back, that will be responsible for him on 3rd down in man-to-man situations. That time, the Dolphins just went with their front people. They're not going to spy Cunningham. They feel like they can put pressure on him with just the people up front.
Jeff Beagles, who had a concussion last week on a blocked punt, is kicking to Scott Schwede. Beautiful kick, drives him back to the 12. Schwede has a seam and stumbles to the 30-yard line. A 22-yard return after a punt of 53. We'll be back to Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami in a moment. By HBO, simply the best. And by Budweiser, the king of beers. Remember, know when to say when. The Miami Dolphins, with their first possession, will start from their own 30-yard line. And they'll start it on the ground. Sammy Smith will pick up about 4. The Dolphins quarterback is Dan Marino, He is working on his 7th 3,000-yard season, which would be another NFL record for his collection. With Mark Clayton hurt, Mark Duper has to carry the receiving load. He only needs 3 catches for 3rd on the all-time list for Miami. The Dolphins used the draft to upgrade their line. Richmond Webb was their #1 draft choice. He's done an excellent job as a rookie on that line. 2nd and 6. Movement up front. A flag is down. Marino dumps it off to Page. And Page stumbles forward to the 39-yard line. Covered by Seth Joyner, who is having a marvelous year. We'll check that penalty.
And Tony Page hobbling up. It looked like he stumbled a little bit when he made that catch. Marino told me earlier this week, he said the Eagles, you know, they're such an aggressive style of defense that we can use the hard count to our advantage. He said they'll jump offside 5-6 times a game.
Offside, number 96 defense, still 2nd down.
Clyde Simmons, the right end.
You figure 5-6 times a game. That means you're going to pick up 30 yards cheap, at least, against the Eagles.
How long are they going to let you quarterbacks get away with that stuff?
No head bob. Only when you're young. So, like in your first year, you call for head bobs. After you become a vet like Dan is, it doesn't exist anymore.
Mark Logan, number 20, has come into the Miami backfield for Tony Page on 2nd and a yard. And Logan will get the carry, has the 1st down to the 41-yard line. The Eagles have a great front line on defense. Reggie White double and triple teamed. He still makes impact plays. Seth Joyner is just having a brilliant season. He's the club's #1 tackler. He's become a team leader. Wes Hopkins was an all-pro before knee injuries cut him down. A year and a half out of the game. He's playing his best ball in about 5 seasons. This is a gambling, go-for-broke defensive style.
Little change up for the Dolphins on 1st and 10. They're going to go shotgun.
4-man rush. Pocket collapsing. Marino throws too high, intended for James Pruitt. Pruitt was a player that they cut and brought back. They have lost 3 of their top 4 receivers, Clayton, Banks, and Andre Brown, all injured, leaving only Duper as a recognizable receiver. Pruitt, of course, had been with the club before. They brought him back because he knows the system.
It really is. And also, that really affects Dan Marino. When you're a quarterback, as it did me, when I got in trouble, I'd look for Art Monk. When Dan Marino gets in trouble, he'll look for Mark Duper.
Troy Stratford, 23, in for Miami on 2nd and 10. Out of the backfield, catches the ball wide open. 40-yard line of the Philadelphia Eagles. Andre Waters pushes him down after he made the tackle. A gain of 19.
When you've got a blitzing style of defense, the thing you want to do is let them cover the outside people, but isolate your back on linebackers. Here's a case where Stratford comes out of the backfield, and there isn't anybody around. Obviously a blown coverage. Now we get a little bit. I don't want you to go any further. Andre says that's far enough.
That's the 25th catch Stratford has made this year. 88 was his best year. He caught 56 coming out of the backfield. Good opening drive for Miami. They've reached the Eagle 40. Marino with plenty of time. Floats it near sideline and overthrown, incomplete. It was intended for Garrett Limbrick, first-year player out of Oklahoma State. And Joyner was on the coverage. And there's Page.
Working on his knee. It looked like when he caught the ball, that first pass that Marino threw, he twisted a little bit trying to get up the field, just went down like a light 240-pound ton of bricks.
They did an informal poll of players down here, and it might be hard to believe that Tony Page turned out to be the MVP from his teammates. They said he was the most valuable player on this team this year. And guys like Marino and Offerdahl, it's a little surprising. 2nd down, they go with the delay. Smith down to the 34-yard line. Byron Evans, the middle linebacker, and Jesse Small, the right outside backer, made the stop.
A lot of times what you want to do with defense, especially somebody who's aggressive, is let them make a commitment. Watch the Eagles. They're going to make their commitments. They now have assumed their lanes, okay? Everybody sees where they're going. Little bit of a cross action in the backfield. Give Sammy Smith a chance to run to where the Eagles have vacated the hole.
Smith has been very up and down this year. There have been times he hasn't been able to get out of his own backfield, and other times he's been terrific. 3rd and 4. Jim Jensen, number 11, is in. Instead, Marino throws complete to Schwades at the 29-yard line. It's another Miami first down. Schwades out of Syracuse, re-signed a couple of weeks ago.
Tough to fool a veteran quarterback. Marino has seen it all, especially in the shotgun. That's William Frizzell. He's going to come off. He's going to turn around, just make the catch, and Marino's going to have the easy completion. Watch the read. There he is, coming off the edge. See? Puts his hand up, says, yo, Dan, I'm here.
Marino, in a far different way than Cunningham, is so much fun to watch. He's got that beautiful delivery. Smith out of the eye play action. Marino goes deep, wide open. Touchdown, Tony Martin. A former college quarterback. He gets his second touchdown of the year, and Marino was perfect.
He absolutely was perfect. Good play action fake to hold the linebackers. Good little move by Tony Martin. He winds up catching it for 6.
Stoyanovich, who has not missed a point after, is on to try to make it 7. Scott Sekiel, the backup quarterback, his holder. And the Dolphins break on top. A confidence booster for that Miami offense. They have taken a 7-0 lead over the Eagles. So Theismann with you from Miami, where the Dolphins have taken a 7-0 lead. Stoyanovich set to kick it off. And Thomas Sanders, the deep man on kickoff. Anthony Edwards had been doing the job, but blew several assignments against Buffalo on kickoff and punt coverage, and got in Buddy Ryan's doghouse in a hurry. So Sanders is back there as the deep man. Got a Texas A&M, a free agent this year.
Anything that has to do with kick returns has been a nightmare for the Eagles this year.
Another high kick, this time not in the end zone. Sanders from the 4. Got to the 25-yard line. Took a big hit at that point from Kerry Glenn.
On that touchdown pass from Dan Marino to Tony Martin. Watch right here. This is Ben Smith. He's going to play off, and Martin's going to do a little stumble and then just take it right up. Good play action fake, holds the linebackers. Marino manages to get it up in a hurry. When I talked to the wide receivers of the Dolphins, they felt that Ben Smith was not that good a cover man when he played off as he did in that situation.
Buddy Ryan says his future is as a safety, but he's been playing very well as a corner. Keep it on the ground with Sherman. Moves the pile forward across the 30 to about the 31-yard line. Gain of 5 or 6.
Here's a look at the pass. Marino with all the time rope. Great job up front by the offensive line. He just puts this baby on a frozen rope. Now, Tony Martin, if you remember last week against the Redskins, had a similar opportunity and dropped it. That was a negative confidence builder for the Dolphins. The Redskins went on and blew him out.
70-yard drive, 4 minutes. And very impressive, something they wanted to do against a physical defense. 2nd and 5, Cunningham under pressure. Wants a screen and just threw that one away. It didn't set up very well, so he gunned it and threw it incomplete. For those of you who are watching the Seniors GTE Kaanapali Classic, Bob Charles has won the tournament, but Charlie Cootie finished high enough to win the 1990 Cadillac Series. He's the champion and gets 3 new Cadillacs for the year. We'll have a complete wrap-up of the tournament at halftime.
Hey, get start a dealership. Or a leasing company or something.
Right. Well, nasty weather conditions over there, at least for golf. 3rd and 5. 4-man rush. Cunningham floats it, and it's picked up. Intercepted by Lewis Oliver. His 5th of the year. That is only the 10th interception Cunningham has thrown this year as opposed to 24 TDs.
And I don't care who you are at quarterback. Randall's a great quarterback. Watch this. See, he throws this off balance. You can't throw everything going backwards. This ball just sails on him. See how it gets over Keith Jackson? Oliver does an excellent job of chasing the ball down.
Miami will have the ball at its own 48-yard line when we come back.
I'll come right back out, maybe with play action again. Ben Smith has just been burned. Go back out and scare him. Work that side again.
There's the play action. Marino looking to the near side, now under pressure. Throws and throws incomplete. Well, he's not Randall Cunningham, but he's able to move enough to get out of trouble. Intended for Martin that time on a comeback route.
Well, here's a statistic, one of those little babies out of the air. The 3 games that the Dolphins have lost this year, their quarterbacks have been their leading rushers. Scott Schwade's twice, Dan Marino in the first game. Or Sequels, excuse me, not Schwade's. He's a wide receiver.
Which is a little scary that Marino would be your leading rusher.
Had 14 yards as the leading rusher. Sequels in the other one had 16 and 17.
And those were the games where Sammy Smith did absolutely nothing to this club. 2nd and 10. Pruitt is in the game as the 3rd wide receiver. Here's the blitz. Marino unloads, complete to Limbrick. He'll gain maybe a yard. Stuffed by Andre Waters.
One of the change-ups that the Eagles like to do is put Reggie White on the nose. They feel like if Marino's going to take 3-step drops, why not have White close? Look at this job he does. One quick swipe of Alexander, and he's gone. And look at how quick he gets back. Andre Waters coming up. Big, clean tattoo.
Reggie told us yesterday it's so frustrating to be double and triple teamed and not be able to get the sacks, that it leaves somebody else open. 3rd and 9. Marino rifles it. That will be shy of a first down at the Philadelphia 44-yard line. Schwade's made the catch. Frizzell was one of the players for the Eagles uncovered.
One of the keys for the Dolphins tonight is going to be not to take negative yardage early. They're going to get the ball off quick. They're going to be able to complete 7- and 8-yard passes, but they're not going to be able to have a lot of time to put the ball down deep.
4th and 2, and guess what? The Dolphins are not sending on the punt team. What they may do here is try to draw the Eagles offside. Either that or Don Shula is really set for it.
I think Don Shula is taking a chance. I believe that this is for the confidence of his football team. His defense is playing well. Now let the offense go out and show they got something to prove.
Play clock down to 1. Marino got rid of it. Throws deep. Complete. Duper. Down inside the 10-yard line. What a call, what a play. 38 yards. Ben Smith made the tackle.
It's become very obvious who the Dolphins want to work on tonight. Ben Smith moved from safety to corner. Heck of a football player, but still struggling out there a little bit. Duper just puts a little shake and bake on him and goes on up the field. Great concentration. Perfect throw by Dan Marino.
It looked like he wanted to throw either to Sammy Smith or Garrett Limbrick coming out of the backfield and then look deep for Duper.
Perfectly thrown ball.
1st and goal. Smith behind Limbrick to the 4, fumble the ball. Looked like Miami got it back, and they did.
Oh, my goodness. Farrell Edmonds is sitting on the ground after his block, reaches out his left hand. He says, hey, guess what? Here's a football. What a heads-up play by Farrell Edmonds. What a tattoo by the Eagles secondary. Watch this. Left side of your screen. There comes the ball flying out. Boom. Waters knocks it out. Right part of your screen. Farrell Edmonds goes, wait a second. That looks like a football. I'll take it. This is what's known as putting your hat on the ball and reaching out and saying, I think I got one.
Still 2nd down. Goal from the 6 now. Marino incomplete. Almost caught by Pruitt. Waters was there along with Jesse Small. Pruitt shaking his head, going back to the Miami huddle.
He only had 5 receptions coming into the game. Watch this. Pushes into the end zone, pushes back. There's a catchable ball. Absolutely a catchable. I'm not sold on those gloves they wear, I got to be honest with you. They're sticky and slidey sometimes, and that one, the ball went right through his hands. You can't feel the ball with him.
Marino had lost confidence in him before he was cut, and that will not help his confidence in Pruitt. 3rd and goal.
Watch out for Jensen down here.
And that was going to be intended for Jensen, but he cut toward the near side. And Marino threw inside and shakes his head as Jensen turned around and looked at him.
You see Dan Marino and Jim Jensen discussing it as they come off. Now, Jensen's not going to be used a lot tonight because the Dolphins don't want to substitute on third down because the Eagles change personnel. Marino would rather know who's lined up without the substitutions and play with their normal personnel.
Stoyanovich will come on to try the field goal of 24 yards. He's had a great year. 17 of 19. His only misses came from 44 and 53. And the second-year man out of Indiana connects again. There's a flag down on the play, however. Remember, it was 4th and goal from the 6.
I don't think Coach Shula wants to gamble with 4th and 3 from the 3.
No.
I think, you know, that little flip of the hand there, I think that means a foot. Go ahead. Flick that thing over there. We're going to kick it again.
Offside. Number 46 defense. Penalty be declined. Field goal is good.
Jerry Seaman makes the call, and the Dolphins now on top of the Philadelphia Eagles. Our score 10-0.
They did also. So this game's going to be very important for us to not only for our stretch as far as getting into the playoffs and like coming down the home stretch here, plus the fact that, you know, they are a good football team. They're very physical, so we have to prove that we can be physical also if we intend on winning some games down the line in the playoffs.
They've proven it so far. They lead 10-0, and once again, the Eagles in the midst of a bad first quarter. You'll remember last week they fell behind to the Buffalo Bills 24-0 before staging a big comeback and finally losing.
Somehow or other, you just don't get the feeling that the Eagles are going to be concerned falling behind early in a game. But you can't do it all the time. It's not like a light switch. You can't turn it on and off.
Stoyanovich to Sanders at the 5. Jensen hit him first. He got away, but still brought down at the 18-yard line, and the Dolphins do a nice job getting down on special teams. Kerry Glenn was down there, and E.J. Jr. also in on the tackle. Scoring drive this time, 3 minutes and 40 seconds. The touchdown drive took 4 minutes, so the Dolphins controlling the clock on the Philadelphia Eagles. You talk about not doing well against physical teams. The 49ers, until last year, had a rap that they weren't physical enough. Look what they've done. Cunningham to Byers. Dolphins collapse on him in a hurry. Offerdahl was there, and Jarvis Williams, number 26.
You know what I see the Eagles doing now? I think they came out and said, hey, a lot of people have run on the Dolphins. Let's try it. That's what Rich Kotite, their offensive coordinator, said. That's not their game plan. Randall Cunningham in the pocket, throwing the football to Keith Byers and Keith Jackson. That's their game plan. It looks like they're going to go with what they do best now.
Gain of 8 on the last play. 2nd and 2. Sherman with single setback. And Sherman will get the carry. Breaks through a big hole. Oliver, the last man, drives him out of bounds. There's a flag down on top of the play. They'll add some on a run of 38 yards for Heath Sherman.
There's a face mask going to be tacked on. Heath Sherman had 11 carries last week, rushed for 70 yards, capable of breaking the big ones. Left side of your screen, look at this hole. They caught the Dolphins in man-to-man coverage, but there's the problem. They've been plagued with it. Last year they were plagued with it, and T.J. Turner had a shot at making the tackle and didn't. And if they don't wrap up and tackle people, you're going to see the Eagles running around all day.
They also had the strong safety Jarvis Williams up the line of scrimmage, and Keith Byers blocked him out of the play. Good look at Sherman, who's already gained 51 yards tonight, and that was his longest run of the season.
You can call defenses, you can get players in the right place, but you can't tackle for them.
Sherman again. Slips the tackle. Offerdahl was the first man that hit him as he got to the 25.
John Offerdahl on the tackle.
57 yards and 6 carries for Heath Sherman. Tom Olivadotti, the defensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins.
Said he was very glad he didn't drive home after the Redskin game because he'd have found a cliff to drive off of.
Well, that's coaching for you. He's 9-3. Hasn't done a bad job. On 2nd and 3, Cunningham throw complete. Williams driven out of bounds over there by J.B. Brown, the second-year man out of Maryland, who had such a tough time with Art Monk a week ago.
J.B. was very disappointed. Went to school at Maryland. You know, he was drafted in the last round, the 12th round back in '89, but has played so well coming out this year. And I really believe that the guy on the other side's given him a lot of confidence. Tim McKyer. We'll give you a few of his little pieces of information as we go.
Brown is the lowest round pick to start for Miami since 1970 when the draft was 17 rounds. Sherman working on that Dolphin middle. John Offerdahl again on the tackle. Nice block by Ron Heller that time. That's the end of the first period of play from Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami. So far, it's all Dolphins. 2nd and 5 for Philadelphia. The ball spotted just inside the Dolphin 10-yard line. Byers. Hit in the backfield and wrapped up. John Offerdahl with a huge play. Missed him, got him back, and you saw the leg out there. If he got away the second time, he'd have tripped it.
Yeah, you can't. He'll catch it with his hand going to the left, his foot going to the right. Underneath trap play. There you see the guard pull. Got a little bit of lead, but look at Offerdahl fill right inside. You can't outrun him. Does a great job of pursuing. Now, there's the left holding on to him. So, wait a second, hold it. You can't go back that way either, Keith.
Byers has only carried the ball 26 times this year. Offerdahl going to his 5th Pro Bowl this season. You can believe that. 3rd and 12. Cunningham takes off. Down to the 4-yard line. He is very close to the first down. It depends on the spot. Lifford Hobley was the first man that got to him. That's where he is the most dangerous, and he got the first down.
He's a defensive player's nightmare. I mean, here's a guy, 3rd down and a ton. Watch this. He goes back. Up. He's got run in his mind. He never even thought about throwing the football. But watch this. Just when he knows what he has to get, he puts the ball, covers it with 2 hands, and leans in to get the first down. Reggie White told him yesterday when we were sitting in a meeting, he said, don't you go doing that. You're messing with my money.
It's funny, he's a multimillionaire now, but Buddy Ryan says whatever we pay him, it's not enough. Got maybe a yard. The Dolphins, led by Hugh Green, number 55, collapse on the running play.
You know, you may try anything you want down here, but you got to get the ball in the hands of Randall Cunningham. There he is, 3 for 5. Had the one INT. Marino's got the touchdown. I mean, as we talked about, it's going to be Dan Marino throwing the football if the Dolphins have a chance to win.
2nd and goal from the 3. Eagles have done a good job in this situation all year long. Byers and Sherman in the backfield. Cunningham to Byers. Almost intercepted, but it's a touchdown. Tim McKyer thought he had the ball, and it went right by him.
It went right into his chest. What happens is Byers sticks one hand out. McKyer's ready. He's going 95. He's already got the car won for MVP if they had one. Watch this. Randall Cunningham totally misreads this defense. Look at that. One hand. Now McKyer, look at it. He's going to catch it. He still doesn't know he doesn't have it. Now he can't believe it. Great hands of Keith Byers. This is a misread defense and an exceptional play.
Roger Ruzek on for the point after. And it's 10-7. McKyer shaking his head, and Byers has yet another great grab out of the backfield. The Philadelphia Eagles get on the board with 12:45 remaining in the first half of play, and they're set to kick off to the Dolphins. Tim McKyer still thinks he has a 95-yard interception return. And I don't blame him. I thought he did too. Stratford can't field it on the hop. Will down it in the end zone. And Miami will start from the 20.
I mean, take a look at this play. The Dolphins are set up perfectly. They got a double coverage. McKyer's going to give ground and settle right there. Byers is going to run right to him. Cunningham absolutely misreads this defense. He thinks McKyer's gone. Look at that. One hand, and you know something? Never touched McKyer. Unbelievable. Take a look at this thing. You're going to see him. His eyes are closed. He's got the ball. Where did it go? Never, ever made contact.
Like a magician. Smith and Limbrick are the backs. They split behind Marino. Marino unloads, completes it to Duper, and he's knocked down by Eric Allen. Hope you'll be with us next Saturday. It's a special edition of NFL Game Day at 11:30 Eastern. Then on Sunday, we'll be back to our regular schedule. Game Day at noon Eastern. Chris, Tom, Pete, Fred, Joe, everybody. 7 o'clock, they're back with a complete wrap-up of all the action on prime time. Then at 8 o'clock, Joe and I will be in the Motor City to check out the NFC Central champion Chicago Bears as they face the Detroit Lions. That first game, the Lions had them beaten, had a chance to kick a field goal in overtime, and let the Chicago Bears get away. Second and 5. They keep it on the ground with Sammy Smith. It'll be 3rd and 5. He got racked up. Andre Waters nailed him as he got back to the line of scrimmage.
Everybody said, what makes it so difficult to run against that Philadelphia defense? They play with 8 guys within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, and there's just no place to go. Look at the right side. You got 5 guys on the right side, got everybody blocked, but here comes the safety. There's the safety filling. That's the factor that you can't account for.
3rd down, call it 4 for the Dolphins. Four-man rush. Marino had Duper fall down, threw it high and off the hand of Eric Allen out of bounds. Duper lost his footing on the natural grass surface and went down.
You got to make plays. We saw James Pruitt drop what might have been a touchdown pass early. Now Pruitt does a good job against Allen, makes a nice turn away, but just does slip and slide.
Reggie Roby is on to kick, and a new punt returner for the Eagles this week, Rod Harris. Out of Texas A&M, waved by the Cowboys. High snap. Line drive kick by Roby. Harris from the 36. And got back to the 48-yard line. That will please Buddy Ryan to no end. A 12-yard return after a punt of 38. Jim Jensen made the tackle. However,
yeah, and take a look at that graphic. Has more victories than 14 franchises in his league.
He's been amazing. Sherman bowls his way to the Dolphin 47-yard line. Jeff Cross makes the tackle for the Dolphins. Shule has just been a marvel, of course, chasing George Halas. Now 31 victories behind him, of course, ahead of Landry Lambeau and Chuck Knoll in 5th, who got number 200 today. Don just as intense as ever. Cutting to throw on 2nd and 4. Here comes Cross. Unloads. Double coverage. Incomplete. Intended for Calvin Williams. And Cunningham overthrows. One of the interesting thing about the Eagles, Joe, they're wide receivers. 2 rookies, and Buddy Ryan loves them.
Well, they got all the speed in the world, and that's the one thing you have to have in this game. Now, here's just a great job by Jeff Cross on Ron Heller. Just putting a lot of pressure. All he wants to do is let Randall know that he's nearby. Just let him know that he is getting some pressure on him, that he is in the area.
Cross was the AFC co-defensive player of the month for October with his teammate John Offerdahl. 3rd and 4. Blitz. Cunningham unloads to Sherman. 1st down and more. Hugh Green can't bring him down. Then he's banged out of bounds by Lewis Oliver. Gain of 20.
Randall Cunningham is totally unflappable on the field. As a matter of fact, 3rd and 4 is one of his perfect down and distances. This is where he puts so much pressure on a defense. You have to rush with a little caution because you don't know if he's going to take off. And if you're not aggressive, he can slide it back out like he did with Sherman out of the backfield to make the big play.
Oliver, number 25, and Williams, 26, the safeties for the Miami Dolphins, really solidified the secondary. That, for so long, was a terrible weak point in the Miami defense. And Cunningham is going to use the timeout with 9:45 to go in the half to talk it over with the coaches on the sideline. We have a timeout in Miami. The Dolphins lead the Eagles 10-7.
On the right, and Jim McMahon observing from down low in the middle. Rich Kotite has added a new wrinkle. Plenty of new wrinkles in this Eagle offense. Really excited.
1st and 10. Byers will get a rare carry down to the 25-yard line. From Miami, the Budweiser storyline, Miami outrushing or being outrushed by Philadelphia 78-12. Marino already with 104 yards. The Dolphins scored on a 37-yard pass play. And Sherman, 86 total yards in this game so far. He's run well and caught the ball, 67 of those yards coming on the ground. 2nd and 8. Play action. Cunningham in trouble, got away. Floats it for the end zone, trying for Williams. He's out of bounds, covered by McIntyre.
You know what's so scary about him is he believes that he can throw the ball up now to Barnett and Williams, and they are going to come down with it. This is not a good decision by Randall Cunningham. Does an excellent job of scrambling around, but he just hangs this thing up. And you know something? He's got every reason to believe these guys will come down with it because most of the time they do.
Williams,
literally,
great leaping ability.
Just literally strong arms this thing.
3rd and 8 now. Three-man rush. Cunningham dumps it off to Heath Sherman. Hugh Green takes him out of bounds. That will be well shy of the 1st down. The field goal will be in the 40-yard range to tie it up.
You know, when you talk to the Dolphin players, I talked to Hugh Green, E.J. Jr., different players on the Dolphin defense. What you wind up with is the guy saying the big difference for us is confidence, and we've gotten some players. That's been the difference in their defense this year.
Ruzek, who's made 16 out of 20 this year, will try from 39 yards out. Jeff Siegels is his holder. Line drive, and he didn't get it. So the Dolphins maintain their lead, 8:25 to go in the half.
He takes. Look at that. Obviously hits the dirt before he gets his foot into the ball, and he gets a low-line spiral out. Good job of spinning. Now watch where his foot hits. See it? It hit a good 8-10 inches behind the ball. You're just not going to get the ball in the air hitting it that far behind.
What a great shot. From the 21, Marino to throw. And throws incomplete, intended for Martin out around the 40. Ben Smith again on the coverage. Smile on Marino's face.
He sees those Eagle guys go flying by. He can't help but smile. They didn't hit him. That time Jerome Brown putting pressure on him. The thing that is affected Dan Marino is when he has to slide in the pocket and change his delivery a little bit. That time he wanted to put the fastball out there, had to drop it down a little bit to avoid the rush and put it a little outside.
Of course, the Philadelphia defensive line has been banged up too. They lost Mike Pitts. Mike Golick playing well in his spot, but Brown and Simmons are pretty well beaten up. Marino with time, guns this one. Farrell Edmonds, the tight end at the 46. Eric Allen brought him down. It's a gain of 25, though. Edmonds, the first Dolphin tight end ever to go to the Pro Bowl. And until this season, Dan Marino did not have a lot of confidence in Farrell Edmonds.
He really didn't, but what gives him confidence is the protection. There you see Reggie White. Olenek and Galbraith do a great job of giving Marino an opportunity to throw the football. Look at the time he has. Can't go right, winds up coming back to the left to find Farrell Edmonds and puts it right where he can only put it. Perfect.
And Farrell Edmonds is a guy who can do it all for this club. Speed, he's got size. Sammy Smith, little stutter step will get maybe a yard, and that's it. Marino right now, 8 out of 15, 128 yards first half. Jerome Brown on the stop for the Eagles.
There's Dan Marino's passing distances, keeping the ball 4 to 7. That means that he's getting the ball off quick. And when he has time, you see him put the ball down the field, 3 for 3, between 20 and 29 yards.
They have only given up 10 sacks this year, the Dolphin offensive line, 9 of those against Marino. He unloads so fast, he's their biggest ally. Here comes the blitz. They pick it up well, and he throws for Stratford, overthrown, but a flag down, and Stratford knew he was held, and they caught it.
You know, that's just not a bad play defensively. If you know that you've got a blitz on and you're going to have the middle of the field wide open and a guy is going to be running by you, you may as well tackle him, because then at least you still get a chance.
Holding, number 48 defense, first down.
Old West latching on. Right side of your screen. Stratford, right, just coming into your picture. You see him being held, never had a chance. Like I say, that's a good defensive play. Now at least you get a chance to line up, play D again instead of line up, let them kick the extra point.
Ball now in Eagles territory for 48, 6:36 to go first half. Marino changing the play. Wants the quick out. It's not there. Now he has to scramble. Throws deep over the middle, incomplete, and Wes Hopkins leveled one of the receivers.
That's not a flag. What happens is he went out of bounds, then came back out in to make the catch. What the side judge threw is, he threw anything. He threw a flag, he threw his hat, he dropped it. He had nothing left to throw anymore. You'll see it up the left side of your screen. Watch, he works out. Andre Waters comes up. Now, the fact that Marino is moving, he's allowed to make contact. There you see the right foot out of bounds. Now he steps back. Well, right, left, right, left. Now he's back in bounds. Incompletion.
So it will be 2nd and 10.
Throwing everything. Throwing hats, throwing flags. Let the world know that the guy was out of bounds.
Swades checks into the lineup in a hurry. Play clock down to 5. Marino underneath. Duper lost the ball. Dolphins got it back at the 50. Ripped loose by Seth Joyner. Harry Galbraith, the right guard, made the recovery.
Boy, Seth Joyner's just having an all-world year, not just all-pro. Watch this. He pulls the arm loose, manages to get his hand on the ball. Harry Galbraith, just like Farrell Edmonds before, there to save the day.
Joyner said this defense, the 46, was like learning Chinese arithmetic. He's finally into it. 3rd and 12 now. Comes the blitz again. Marino hangs in and throws. Joyner almost had the interception, couldn't hold it. Pruitt was the closest receiver.
There's an example of how good Seth Joyner is. One time he's covering a receiver coming across the ball 4 yards from the line of scrimmage. Next play, he's 30 yards downfield breaking up a pass. Look at how he watches the receiver's eyes. Now watch him turn. Actually, if Dan had thrown the ball a little bit better, it would have been an interception.
Played
And he
it
knows
just like a defensive back. Harris waits at his 10-yard line for the punt of Reggie Roby. Good kick this time. Harris up to the 13. lowers his head and dives out to the 19, a return of 6 after a punt of 38.
Buddy Ryan's just got to be thrilled. Harris is their 6th punt returner they've tried this year. I mean, they've gone through Bellamy, Williams, back to Bellamy. Hargrove was there for a little while. Anthony Edwards, and then gone. And then Hal Harris is there.
Joining us for tonight's game, the airship Shamu, appearing today on behalf of the SeaWorld Parks. 194 feet long. Shamu is the largest flying, one of the largest flying blimps today.
A flying fish?
A flying Shamu.
Very big flying fish.
1st and 10 Eagles inside their own 20. Sherman on the toss. Gains about 2. T.J. Turner, number 95, moved over from his left end spot to get in on the tackle.
Football teams have characters. They have different type of character. A run character, a pass character. The Redskins, for example, they're the kind of football team that wants to run to set up a big play passing. The Eagles, for them to want to run the football, even though it's a vulnerable part of the Dolphin defense, just won't work. They're not that patient a football team.
They are number 2 in the league at running, but that's because of Cunningham. Fired. Broke the tackle. Offerdahl has him. Got some help from Lewis Oliver. And they bring him down at the 26-yard line. It will be 3rd and 4. The Dolphin defense pounded a week ago. 476 yards in total offense they gave up. They are still number 2 in the National Football League overall defense. They are number 1 against the pass. And the Eagles working on 100 yards rushing already. But it's only translated into 7 points. Cunningham had it knocked away. Eagles got it back. Sherman recovered at the 14-yard line. David Griggs will get credit for causing the fumble.
The Dolphin defense continuing to just pressure with 3 and 4 people up front. Watch this, the right part of your screen. You see him swing it out. Griggs comes on and just manages to get a hand on the ball and knock it away from him. He's Sherman very alertly recovering it so the Dolphins don't.
Jeff Beagles, his wife Michelle, expecting their first child tonight. They have a friend in the stands with a portable telephone to deliver the news if it comes. Miami has stopped the clock with 3:44 to go.
I got to believe this is a super opportunity to go after the punter.
Beagles has had 2 blocked, one last week where he suffered a concussion.
Mike Westhoff, the special teams coach of the Dolphins, has a lot of different ways to try and put pressure on a punter. This would be a great opportunity to do it.
Beagles gets it out of there, high but short. Schwade's coming up trying to make the fair catch and does at the Miami 49-yard line. No return, punt of 37 yards. We've got college basketball coming your way tomorrow night at 9 Eastern. Kentucky visits Chapel Hill, North Carolina to take on the young and outstandingly talented Tar Heels of Dean Smith.
There are little subtle things in a football game that make a big difference. That play that Schwade's made is one of those things. Instead of letting that ball bounce and maybe putting the Dolphins back another 20 yards deeper, he fair caught it, made a great effort, gave him good field position.
And with plenty of time on the clock, 3:36. Marino again with time, throws near sideline to Cooper, completes for a first down. Joyner and Smith were in the area. It's a gain of 14.
It's no secret what the Dolphins want to do. They want to just put the ball up in the air. The play action faking is actually one of the best pass protections you can get. Marino using it very effectively.
Mark Duper now 3rd all-time on the Miami receiving list. And we've stopped the clock. They're looking at the play to see if the catch was made inbounds.
A little discussion. Right side of your screen. There's the catch. There's the feet. I don't know what you're looking at.
That's easy.
Heck. There, look at that.
He got 4 down.
2, 3, drag. The old 1, 2, 3 drag. I'm in by a mile.
Dave Kamansky, the replay official, agrees with me.
I think they wanted to see if it was working. That was an equipment check.
That's Logan, the fullback. He'll get maybe a yard, no more. Stopped immediately by Jerome Brown out of Miami.
Keith Sims getting himself a little lesson in how to handle an aggressive tackle. There you go. He tried. Jerome Brown just goes right around him. Sims barely got out of his stance. Of course, Jerome Brown been beat up. Off-season shoulder problems. That whole front four hasn't been healthy for the Eagles.
2nd and 9. Stratford is in the backfield for Miami. Marino dumps this one off, intended for Logan. Coming out of the backfield, he couldn't get it. And Marino knows he's going to have to put it up an awful lot. They've tried running the ball 7 times tonight, only gotten 15 yards out of it.
Well, they know they have to throw, but look at how he stays in the pocket. I mean, look at that. Pump once, step up, hang in. He's got everything. Reggie White, Jerome Brown, Clyde Simmons, got everybody in his face and still hangs in.
Very durable quarterback. 3rd and 9. Blitz. They pick it up well enough. He throws outside. The receiver, Martin, went in. Marino will talk to Martin.
But that's what a Buddy Ryan defense does, is they come at you. First they lay off, then they put pressure on you. I played against it. You get antsy back there. You want to get the ball up. You say, oh, gee, they're in zone. Now, the other thing is Tony Martin is only in his first year as a wide receiver. He's got so much more to learn.
Mark Clayton does not make that decision. Clayton should be back in a couple of weeks, by the way. Rod Harris waiting for Roby's punt. End over end, not a lot of height, but it takes it good. Dolphin bouncing down at the 7-yard line. David Griggs, the linebacker, downfield in a hurry.
Mike, you talked earlier with Marino having 3 of the receivers that he's used to working with out. This is Tony Martin right here. What he should do on this blitz is run the post inside. Or actually, what he wants him to do is run the fade. He winds up running that post inside, and it's just a question of working with somebody. Here come the blitzes off the corners. There he should run the fade. Get it up the field outside. He doesn't do it. And you wind up with an incompletion. And
Marino has no choice. That's when the ball's supposed to be thrown. He can't wait to see the break.
No.
Otherwise, he's under Reggie White. That's right. 2:16 to go in the half. Eagles will keep it on the ground. Heath Sherman moves the pile forward to about the 11-yard line. Offerdahl, again, one of the players in on the tackle. And the clock will wind down to the 2-minute warning. On a Sunday night, first down. He loves to go airborne because he says he won't get hurt that way.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah, but you went airborne after you got hit.
I'm the first to admit that if your feet are on the ground, some bad can happen. If you're in the air, you just get bounced around like a ping pong ball. His teammates aren't thrilled because they're afraid he's going to get hurt. But, hey, this is Randall Cunningham. Hugh Green's trying. He's doing everything he can. Goes high for him. But watch this move. Look at his sidestep. Offerdahl. He gives him the shake and bake. Now, here's a guy. I'll tell you something about those little feet of his. Those feet of his have got $50 shoelace tips on them. Gold shoelace. See them shine? $50 each. $50 each tip of the shoelace. That's $200 worth of feet flying through the air. Why do you think the guys are trying to tackle his feet? They're not stupid. They're trying to make a few bucks. There they are. Look at that. Gold tip shoelaces.
I think that falls into the category of conspicuous consumption, doesn't it?
He says they make them in diamonds, but he's going to save them for the big ones.
Yeah, Super Bowl and Pro Bowl.
Whoa.
1st and 10 Eagles. Still plenty of time left. 54 seconds. Cunningham with all day to throw this time. Intended for Jackson. May have been tipped by J.B. Brown. Looked like he got a fingertip on that ball.
Nice job by J.B. Brown. You're right, Mike. He just manages to tip the ball away. J.B. was picked on a lot last week. Watch this. Just a fingertip away.
No, maybe it got Jackson's fingertip.
Maybe just maybe just the thought of a fingertip scared away. See it?
That's Barnett, not Jackson, of course.
Having his hand up in his face doesn't hurt, though. Just blocks the vision and the concentration.
Of course, J.B. Brown has had some outstanding games before he was roasted a week ago. 2nd and 10. Cunningham wide open up the middle. Offerdahl got him this time, but he reaches the Miami 48-yard line, about half yard shy of a first down. Cunningham now 42 yards rushing.
Right now he's wasted 10 seconds. Right now he's wasted 15 seconds looking at the sideline deciding what to do.
They'll go for the first down, and they get it with 18 seconds. Clock still running down to 17.
That's lousy management of time. They had wasted almost 18 seconds because the clock was at 38 when it went down. Now it's at 17. Took them 21 seconds to run a quarterback sneak to pick up the first down. They could have at least run 2 more plays by preserving the time.
Coming up at halftime, Chris Berman with highlights of all the games played today. We'll have a recap of the Senior PGA, the Kaanapali Classic wrap-up, and who did what. And Joe will be back with his first half analysis. The Eagles have no timeouts left now, and they are at the 47-yard line of Miami with only 17 seconds to go. Jeff Cross went into the Dolphin locker room early. He has an unspecified injury. We'll try to check on him for you. Well, what do you do with 17 seconds left?
I think what you try and do is hit one of your fast guys somewhere around 20 yards. Let him run across the field and pick up enough yardage so that you can let Randall run around and throw the old alley-oop. And the guy he probably will try and get the ball to will not be Barnett, but Williams, because Williams is the better leaper.
Williams can really go up after it. He'll scramble again, trying to get all the yards he can and get out of bounds. He has another first down at the 37-yard line, but there's only 8 seconds left. Rodney Thomas chased him out.
You know, to call him a running, they have to come up with another position for him because he's not a quarterback. He's not a running back. He's somewhere in the middle. The Dolphins doing a good job, not giving up anything deep. Watch the move he puts on. A little right foot, left foot, and split the defenders. Look at that. Little high hurdle through, presence of mind, pick up the first down.
McKyer is still wondering where he went. It was almost like the interception that McKyer thought he had. Ruzek will try a 53-yard field goal.
What wind there is, it is at his back.
Got a chance. Roger Ruzek, who earlier missed, kicks the longest field goal of the year for the Eagles. 53 yards. Well, he didn't have any trouble with the turf that time.
No, and I'll tell you something, Mike. It doesn't look like it on the field the way these guys are throwing the ball around, but there's a pretty good breeze blowing from right to left behind him. As I walked around out on the field, this is where he was hitting them from in practice. This one's as true as can be.
That is the longest field goal of Roger Ruzek's career, 53 yards.
With room to spare. There's that scoring drive, 11 plays, 56 yards to tie it up at 10-10.
Cunningham has passed for 54 yards and rushed for 54
There's
yards.
Old Glory telling us how the wind blows.
And it's a little chilly for Miami.
No, it's nippy. It's cold. It's more than chilly. It's supposed to be 70 and balmy. It's not. It's chilly.
That was my Chamber of Commerce version.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, it's chilly.
So 2 seconds left, and the Eagles will kick it off. See if they'll go with a squib kick.
Eagles again proving that 2-minute area, they just love to have pressure on it.
Ruzek will go with the squib. It's all the way down to the 10-yard line. Picked up by Logan. And Logan out across the 30 to the 32-yard line, but time has run out in the first half. The Dolphins and the Eagles. The second half kickoff. Stratford on the short kick across the 30. Lowers his shoulder and dumps William Frizzell on his bottom. First half stats. Marino with 138 yards in the air, but with Cunningham's rushing, the Eagles have the lead in that category and the one turnover, the interception.
The Dolphins have done basically what they set out to do tonight. They proved they can play with a physical team. Now they have to be able to try and put it away and get a win.
Smith and Logan are the backs behind Marino. Wants to throw on first down and completes to Farrell Edmonds. Edmonds to the Eagle 39. Hopkins and Allen brought him down.
Dan Marino just sets, loads that gun and fires. Watch him, his setup. Look at him pull the trigger. That's as tight as you get a spiral. Just when you think you got it, you don't. Farrell Edmonds really coming on.
Seth Joyner had a shot at the interception, a hand length short of knocking it down. Smith wrapped up in a hurry. Jerome Brown then lost him. Smith stays on his feet, gets down to the 39-yard line. Fine effort by the second-year man out of Florida State.
He had to feel like he absolutely ran into the side of the stadium and decided to go another way. Look at this. Into the pile, manages to bounce out, keeps presence of mind to keep his feet going. And Andre Waters just throws a body block in front of him. Brings him down.
Turns out to be no gain. It's 2nd and 10. Marino, little play action. Wanted Stratford out of the backfield. Couldn't find anybody. Now throws to the sideline. Incomplete. Stratford, the closest ones to it. Reggie White putting on the pressure.
You know, it's interesting. In this game, the Dolphin defense is trying to take away the wide receivers of the Philadelphia Eagles. So we see Cunningham going to the backs and trying to get to Keith Jackson. On the other side, the Eagles defense, they take away the backs, basically the inside receivers, and say, hey, look, if you want to beat us outside, we feel, and they're cocky guys. We feel like, hey, try it if you'd like.
Tony Page, of course, was injured very early in the ballgame. Has not been able to come back. He has 31 catches coming into this game. They'd like to have him. 3rd and 10. Marino hit from behind and sacked by Clyde Simmons. Only the 10th time this year that Marino has been sacked. Simmons got there in a hurry. That's 5.5 for him in 1990.
Richmond Webb, one of the new kids on the block, as they call themselves down here in Miami. There he is. He sets, gets a hand up, give a little bit too much ground. He's going to have to stand a little stronger and a little taller to keep that rush away from Marino.
Roby to punt on 4th and 19. Boy, this is up a mile and bounces sideways out of bounds at the 25-yard line. A kick of only 23 yards for Reggie Roby. There's a timeout with 13:03 to go, 3rd quarter. We're still tied at 10. Sanders in the backfield for the first time. He'll get a carry. Breaks out of the pack. 40, 50. Miami, 40-yard line, and inside that, Jarvis Williams took him out of bounds. Thomas Sanders, 38 yards, only the 5th time he's carried the ball this year.
Well, the Eagles continuing to do what they did in the first half. They want to run the football on 1st and 10. Other than in the 2-minute drill, they've run the ball 10 times on 1st and 10 and only thrown it once, and here they come out again. Sanders does a good job of bouncing off the pile, and when you get pursued in one area and come out of a hole the other way, the only guy left to catch you is a defensive back.
If you recognize the name, it's because he spent 5 years with the Bears as a blocking back. And a backup with some great runners. Sanders again, pounding inside the 35. Got to the 34-yard line. Offerdahl again along with Jeff Cross on the tackle.
Rich Kotite, the offensive coordinator, talking to Randall Cunningham about him. All the guys on offense really are excited about what he's brought to the offense. They change up every week. They add a new play here, a new play there. They said it's really become exciting to go out and try something different and new.
Philadelphia has now rushed for 171 yards. Miami, 15. Sanders again for the third consecutive time to the 31-yard line. Jeff Cross again, who's had a big game at defensive right end, makes the tackle.
Number 91, Jeff Cross, stands up Tamburello, takes on the block, does a nice job of fighting on. This is something they didn't do last week. When I talked to the defensive guys, they said, we couldn't get off the blocks last week against the Redskins to make plays. They're doing it here.
3rd and 6. Tony, number 25, is in the Eagles' backfield. Cunningham with plenty of time to Byers. That's going to be shy of the first down, though. Boy, Griggs was all over him along with Williams and Offerdahl. Byers is just a terrific receiver. Came into the weekend leading all running backs in pass receptions and yardage, and he's shaken up on this play.
Everybody talks about running over the middle. There he goes out and breaks in. Griggs comes up, Williams comes up, and then Offerdahl comes in and puts the finishing touches on him. That's a triple-decker sandwich. That's what that is.
Well, it looks like Offerdahl got a big chunk of Griggs, too. We'll check on his condition when we come back. 10:50 to go, third period. Faced with a 4th and 1 with 10:50 to go, third quarter. Keith Byers walking off the field under his own power after being attended to by the Eagle medical staff. A lot of complicated terms for calling plays. Buddy Ryan calls 2 plays. He said run the damn ball or throw the damn ball. Those are the only 2 he called.
I think this is a run the ball call.
Sanders and Tony in the backfield.
4th and inches.
Play action. And they throw the pass to Keith Jackson, first down. How about that call?
Oh, how about that catch? How about that throw? There was nothing easy about that. You know, they fake the run up inside, managed to get Randall sliding around a little bit. Keith Jackson just makes a great catch in between all kinds of traffic. Play action, hold the linebackers. That's a good move. Jackson now releases after the slow block. Now, it looks like he's open, but he's got somebody hanging on his... Griggs is just hanging on his left arm before the ball even gets there.
But it's the first down at the Miami 24-yard line. Sanders again, this time inside the 20 to about the 19-yard line. Byers on the sideline in some obvious distress.
2nd and 6.
What hurt the Dolphins last week and in the other games that they've lost is time of possession has not been in their favor. You can't leave that defense out on the field too long. You got to stop them. You got to make a big play.
Plus, Marino can't hurt you when he's sitting down. Sanders again. He has been a big factor since Buddy Ryan put him in the backfield. He's down to the 15, Offerdahl, who has been tremendously active tonight, came in as the #1 tackler. Some of the individual statistical leaders in the game. Byers, of course, the leading receiver, as he so often is. And Miami, Offerdahl, 8 solo tackles in this ballgame.
Rushing, you can just erase off the top of the page.
Tony and Sanders in the backfield on 3rd and 2. Tony on the delay. Didn't make it. Had to get to the 14. He stopped at the 15. T.J. Turner and Jeff Cross, the ends, pinched in to get him on the delay.
Jeff Cross doing a great job. Ron Heller, number 73. He tries the old head swipe. He doesn't get him. Nice job by Cross. He just does. What that is, see, it's not a swing at somebody. You say, oh, he's throwing a punch. No, he's not. What you want to do is you want to catch that right shoulder, push him up the field like in a pass rush, and turn your rear end into the hole to give the back a place to go. That time, Cross wouldn't let him.
Ruzek for the lead from 33 yards out. He's hit 2 out of 3 tonight, and the Eagles go in front for the first time. Roger Ruzek, 2 out of 3 field goals. Be in Detroit to check out the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. Good matchup of Neil Anderson and Barry Sanders, 2 of the premier backs in the NFL.
I think Barry Sanders is the best.
I do too.
I think he's the best back in football.
So does Reggie White. Talking to him yesterday. Logan takes the line drive kick at the 5. Down the sideline. Nice return by Logan out to the 33. He was leading the NFL in kick returns a year ago until he was injured. William Frizzell makes the tackle. So decent field position for the Dolphins outside their own 30. We told you earlier, Marino has not had a 300-yard game this season. To this point, he has 164 yards and a touchdown, 11 out of 23. And he may need to get 300 to win this game, Joe.
Well, you know, Mike, he's going to have to try and get close. He's going to have to throw enough passes to have that statistic. Question is, can the receivers hang on?
They'll give it on the ground to Smith. Big hole up the middle. Smith still on his feet to the Eagle 45. Brought down by Byron Evans, the middle linebacker. It's a gain of 22.
Good job by the left side. Richmond Webb, this will be the right side of your screen. Farrell Edmonds firing out. You see Webb and Sims come out. Every one of them does a good job. Big hole, lousy tackling by the Eagles. 4 guys had a shot at him, and he was just barely brought down by Byron Evans. B&E, as he's called.
Sammy Smith played in the same backfield at FSU with Marion Butt. Not a bad couple of guys to go to. Smith, again, this time not much running room. He crosses the 45, and Seth Joyner is there to bring him down.
I think you get the impression maybe the Dolphins are trying to establish some type of a running game, but don't be misled. This is to keep them honest. And what it'll do, it'll help set up the play action that we saw him get some big plays on earlier.
2nd and 9 for the Dolphins. Clock running, 6:13 to go, 3rd quarter. Four-man rush in time. Stratford. Fumble. And it looks like the Dolphins got it back at the 20-yard line. Stratford had it pop loose, and Miami very fortunate to have Tony Martin downfield who can fall on it after a gain of 23. Andre Waters with the big hit knocked it loose.
Boy, are the Eagles just rocking it. I mean, watch this hit. Stratford does an excellent job, puts a good move inside. Oh, beats Seth Joyner way inside. Watch this, got the ball, even tried to tuck it up, but look at the shot Waters puts on. Oh, I'll tell you, he can hit you.
That's the second forced fumble for Waters. Ball loose again. Eagles are signaling they've got it, and they do. Holy cow.
This is just a missed exchange between the quarterback and the running back. Coach Shule is shaking his head. After they've made big plays, they've recovered 3 fumbles. Sammy just went wider than Dan thought he was going to go. Marino trying to reach out to him. The timing is so precise on handoffs. A guy opens it up like the jaws of a fish. You got to put the bait in, and if you don't, they're going to close it before it gets there.
Big break for the Eagles. They get the ball at their own 20. Byers is back in there with a bruised knee. On the ground to Sanders. Offerdahl stands him up, got some help in the middle. 5:11 to go third quarter. The Eagles, who trailed 10-0, are now up 13-10 on Miami. Mike Patrick and Joe Theismann with you. And it's been exactly what we expected out of this ball game. The Eagles, after a 2-4 start, now 7-5, sailing toward the playoffs. The Dolphins 9-3, still trying to win their division. Cunningham takes off. He just outruns people. Dives for the first down and has it. Coming into this game, Randall Cunningham was number 6 in the NFC in rushing. Number 6. The first quarterback in the history of the NFL to lead his team rushing 3 years in a row. He's got a chance to get 1,000 yards.
And he will lead it again this year.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got just an incredible amount of numbers coming into this. 678 yards coming into this and 4 rushing touchdowns. And, you know, he knows how to take care of himself. That's the amazing thing. Doesn't take the big shots that knock quarterbacks out of games.
Sanders, this time hitting the backfield, and it looked like Jeff Cross did a great job again closing down from his right defensive end spot. That's the SeaWorld blimp, Shamu, the airship, joining us today from the world's premier marine life park. All right, quickly, Joe, how much helium is in that blimp?
A lot.
Very good. 235,000 cubic feet.
Well, that was going to be my other guess if you didn't say.
Well, a lot counts. Here comes the blitz. Williams. Cunningham gets away. Dancing across the 35 to the 36. Odom, Griggs, Offerdahl. Everybody converged on him.
You know,
but Jarvis Williams came up with a handful of air on the blitz.
That's a mismatch. When you've got anybody running free at Randall Cunningham and he gets a chance to put a move on you, it is absolutely a mismatch. And Jarvis Williams did as good a job as you can do. Came under control, still didn't get his hands on him.
There's where Cunningham stands on the all-time list. Only Fran Tarkenton ahead of him. But Tarkenton took 17 years. Cunningham has done it in less than 6. Throws complete to Williams across midfield, brought down at the 42-yard line by Jarvis Williams. There is a flag down in the Eagle backfield. Preliminary call is a hold. This game has been relatively penalty-free, too. It's been well played.
It has. Two teams playing at a very intense level and playing it in between the white lines.
You see Buddy. He's one of the most...
Holding, number 66 offense. Still third down.
That's Ron Solt, the former Pro Bowler right tackle. Buddy Ryan is such a delight to talk to. Whether you agree with him or not, like him or not, he is upfront and honest. He will tell you exactly what he thinks, and he doesn't pull a punch.
He's a player's coach. He is. He's a player's coach. I mean, you know, we were talking on the field before. I said, good luck down the road. Maybe we'll see you in the playoffs. He said, oh, no, there's no, you will.
You asked him about a team he's going to play, so we're better now. We'll kill it. Third and long. Cunningham dumps it to Tony. And this time, E.J. Jr. is waiting for him and makes the stop. They'll have to punt. .148 to go in the third quarter. Feagles on to punt the Schwades. Had a good night. The prospective father-to-be tonight or tomorrow morning is when we expect the baby. Returnable kick. Schwade ducks the first man. Across the 40 to about the 41-yard line. A return of 8 after a line drive punt of 34. Time running out in the third quarter. It is still a 3-point game.
This is where
This game tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern. Two of the most tradition-rich college basketball programs meet in Chapel Hill. Kentucky against North Carolina. Rick Pitino will come in to face Dean Smith.
There's Mark Clayton. Should be back, they figure, after the Seattle game for the last 2 games. And believe me, He has been sorely missed. Tony Martin's got his chance to play, but they really need Mark Clayton for the stretch drives.
He can't wait, neither can Dan Marino. Wants to throw on first down. White after it. Throw sideline complete, and that's Martin on a comebacker. Ben Smith on the stop. Martin spent last year on the Dolphins developmental squad. That's how much experience he has. This year is it.
That's all you got. There he does a good pushing up, looks inside for the ball, sees Dan in trouble. Now, this is a good reaction. See how he works back towards the quarterback? A lot of receivers sometimes stand around. He worked back, gave him a throwing lane.
Marino now over the 200-yard mark on 13 out of 25. Over the middle, complete again down to the 32-yard line. The tackle made by Eric Allen on Martin, a gain of 12. Well, the Dolphin offensive line, you know Marino has a quick release, but they've done a nice job tonight.
They really have. Jeff Ulenik, the center. Look at that, number 63. They do a nice job on him. He just gets position and slides him. He's letting Reggie go where he wants and is just steering him. That whole offensive line really giving Marino an opportunity to stand back there with confidence.
They have sacked Marino only once, but more importantly than that, they have not pressured him a great deal. Had time to throw. Smith broke a tackle inside the 30. Seth Joyner made sure he didn't break the next one along with Jesse Small.
Clyde Simmons had a shot at him and just couldn't wrap him up.
Good hard running by Sammy Smith tonight. That's the end of the third quarter from Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami. It's the Eagles 5-3. With a physical team. Well, Philadelphia's as physical as anybody, and they've proved they can play with it.
They really have. They've done an excellent job, particularly on defense. What they've managed to do is shut down that Eagle running game, and they've been able to run the football when they want to on offense.
2nd and 7, Miami. Blitz. Marino unloads, incomplete. Stratford couldn't hold it, and Wes Hopkins drilled it. Well, Hopkins was a Pro Bowler, consensus All-Pro before his knee injuries cost him nearly 2 full years.
And the reason why Dan Marino doesn't get sacked very much is, yes, his offensive line does a good job, but he reads it so well and gets rid of the football so quickly. Now, that's something that I haven't seen the Eagles do a lot tonight. That's bring linebackers and put additional rushes on Marino. I think now they'll start to turn the heat up a little bit and bring a few extra people out.
3rd and 7, where Marino has only been 2 out of 6 passing tonight. Another blitz, and throws almost intercepted by Eric Allen. Allen with only 1 interception this year, led the NFC a year ago. He had 8, nearly picked off his 2nd there. William Frizzell was coming on the blitz.
But it's the 2nd time they came with multiples of people. There comes Frizzell off the corner. Now, he's coming out clean. Ulenik is supposed to check the middle and then come out and try and pick it up. You're asking an awful lot from a center to check somebody in the middle of the field and get all the way out 4 people and make a block.
And the Dolphins will punt. A field goal try would be 47 yards, well within Stoyanovic's range, but it's against the wind, and Roby kicks it sky high. There's a flag down on the play. Ball hits at the 1, and the Dolphins will be able to stop it inside the 10. Let's check out the flag.
Now, this one could be against Byron Evans on Jim Jensen trying to get down the field. That was going to go against the Eagles.
See if it was before the kick.
When they split the wingmen out, Buddy has so much confidence in his linebackers that he puts them out to try and stop the people from getting down.
Holding, number 26 receiving team, post-possession foul, first down.
It's Ben Smith, and they say it came after the punt, so they will not give the Dolphins another opportunity. Smith is hot about it, too, talking to Kenny Jackson over there.
Kenny Jackson from South River High School in South River, New Jersey.
Sounds familiar?
Yeah, it does. They brought him back. Buddy didn't expect to lose him when the plan B went down to Houston, but now he's come back, and he is their inspirational leader. And by that I mean he's a guy who can communicate with the players, and he's a very close confidant of Randall Cunningham. Everybody's got to have somebody they can talk to.
He said, basically, my job's to be with Randall. They start inside the 5. Sanders didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. P.J. Turner was right there to make the big hit. Tomorrow's headlines brought to you by Levi's Dockers. The Giants clinched the NFC East title, and Otis Anderson, one of 8 backs to go over 10,000 yards. The Bills also lock up a playoff. They look dominating today. Chuck Noll got his 200th victory. The Oilers were awesome against the sinking Cleveland Browns. The Redskins in a great game against the Bears. And the Chiefs had to rally to get back. The Broncos who have lost 9 of 10. Give them a gain of yard on the last play. 2nd and 9. Sanders on the sweep. Just tripped up, dives forward to the 10. Offerdahl got a hand out there, and he was pinned by Louis Oliver.
Boy, and you just know what Rich Kotite's going to call. He's going to call some, I do anyway, I believe it. He's going to call some type of a pass. And what he's going to do is say, okay, Randall, if somebody isn't open, pick up the 5 yards.
A lot of pressure on Sanders. Byers has a bad knee, and Sherman has back spasm. 3rd and 5. Over the middle, Jackson. First down at the 27-yard line. Odom made the tackle, but it's a gain of 17.
Cunningham looking for Jackson all the way on this crossing pattern. They run the tight end across one side, run a back out of the backfield the other way. You'll see him cross in front. Spots Jackson, stands tall. Keith Jackson with those great hands picks up the first down.
John Offerdahl on the Miami defense should get a game ball. He's already made 12 tackles against the Eagles. Cunningham with plenty of time. Jackson again, the diving catch near the 45. Jackson held out. It was a protracted, bitter holdout with owner Norman Brayman. And he says when he becomes a free agent, if somebody offers him as much money as the Eagles do, he's out of here.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to have a choice. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand his viewpoint, but there are rules that just don't quite allow that. And, coming back in, he only felt comfortable after the 8th game of the season, which was the New England game.
And he said specifically he was coming back only to save Buddy Ryan's job. Sanders, big hole off the right side. Offerdahl and Oliver combine on the stop. Sanders was released by San Diego after he signed as a Plan B free agent. Was not signed by the Eagles until October 25th.
Keith Byers does so many things. Little bluff block, and he turns out on Tim McKyer, who really has been silent. McKyer has said he's like Michael Jordan. He plays at another level. And tonight, he's become just a normal NBA star.
2nd and a yard. 11:20 to go in the game. Sanders will try to get the first down. Had to get just to the 45-yard line. And he's very close. And they'll measure for it.
Buddy's telling him it's a first down. What do you guys measure this for? I know it's a first down. See, no reason to measure. I know it's a first down. Ask Buddy if he's ever right. He's yet. All time. Coach Ryan, I will. You like to play for a guy like that because there's no question where you stand. I mean, he looks you in the eye, he tells you you're lousy, and he believes it. And if you don't get better, you're gone. That's all there is to it.
His players are absolutely dedicated to him. It's some other people around the league may not like him, but his players absolutely love him.
From what I understand, Mr. Brayman and his agent have had dinner just as recently as last night to discuss Buddy's future.
Cunningham will use a timeout with 10:34 to go in the game to go over and talk to Buddy Ryan. By building a better car, and by Levi's Dockers. If they're not Dockers, they're just pants. Mike Patrick and Joe Theismann with you from Miami. 10 minutes, 34 seconds to go in the game. The Eagles lead by 3. They have the ball at the Miami 45-yard line. They've held it on this drive for more than 4 minutes. Fires, flea flicker. Cunningham unloads. Williams, touchdown. A 95-yard drive capped by a 45-yard touchdown pass, and the blazing speed of Calvin Williams got him behind Tim McKyer.
That's why Buddy Ryan has those two guys out there. Barnett and Williams can just flat run. That time they run Byers on the trap up the middle, pitches it back to Randall, and he just hangs a rope out.
Mike Quick, who had been such a great receiver for this club, eligible to come off injured reserve, and Buddy says, hey, Calvin Williams and Fred Barnett are going to be my starters.
Where's he going to put them?
Ruzek for the point after. He converts. And give credit to the offensive coaches. The way they had been shoving it down Miami's throat on this drive, that was an excellent call.
Well, that's the thing you got to be conscious of. That sets up any type of play-action pass. If you can run the football...
Marino immediately to the shotgun. Throws underneath to Logan. Flips one tackle into Philadelphia territory at the 49. It will be a first down.
You know, that time the Eagles lined up in what looks like some type of a prevent defense. If they do that, I will predict that Dan Marino's going to march his team down the field and get 7 in a hurry. I mean, you can't get out of your game plan. You can't rush 3. You've got to put pressure on Marino and cause him to throw the ball early.
First down at the Eagle 49. Eagles show blitz and then drop out of it. Marino, Reggie White has it. The second time he's been sacked tonight.
There was more of that pressure. I asked Reggie yesterday where he likes to play on the defensive line. He said he likes to play the left defensive end position. And Eric, you just can't. Mark Dennis tries to throw on him, but you just can't go down and try and throw on somebody like Reggie White. He's going to dance around you and make a play. You got to get your hands on him.
2 sacks tonight, and for Reggie White, 92.5 sacks since 1985. That's more than anyone else in the NFL. 2nd and 15. Thrown behind Duper. Ben Smith had an interception and dropped it. That Miami defense burned for the touchdown play, hoping they'll get a chance to redeem themselves. The Dolphins have to score. They've got to get the ball back so they can score again.
Their offense has got to make some kind of a play, if for no other reason, to give their defense a chance to catch their breath. You know, it's 4 minutes and 17, 16 seconds in the last drive, and spent a lot of the third quarter out on the field.
3rd and 15. Blitz. A sellout, and Pruitt can't hold it. The throw was high.
That's the perfect defense to call on 3rd and long. You know that the wide receivers are taught to run breakoffs when safeties come. If they're running breakoffs, the most they're going to catch is a 7-yard pass.
Terry Hogue coming hard on the blitz, backup safety, and Roby will have to punt. Not had a good night. Kicking into the wind. Almost blocked. Harris signals fair catch, makes it inside the 15-yard line. A 40-yard punt into the wind, a good kick that time by Roby. Wes Hopkins nearly blocked the kick.
We're giving you a choice at BET, the network to turn to for the shows you want to see. We're giving you a choice. Reach out and take it. We're giving you a choice. Go ahead and make it. We're giving you a voice. You can't mistake it. We're giving you a choice at BET.
The Family Channel's hits are hot. Rin Tin Tin, Canine Cop,
Wholesome, spine-tingling adventure.
Maniac Mansion,
Wonderfully innovative and imaginative. Unlike anything you've ever seen.
Border Town,
Well-written and well-acted.
Big Brother Jake,
A half-hour haven of safe, clean humor.
Zorro.
The Family Channel's revival is terrific.
The shows we make for you are making it. So make these hits yours every day here on the Family Channel.
Now, see more of the world on the Travel Channel. Join Audrey Landers for Designs on Travel and discover vacations that focus on special interests like wildlife, bird watching, travel for the disabled, and more. Plus, comedian Artie Johnson is your host for an offbeat look at travel on Video Escapades. And see the great cities of the world through the eyes of award-winning writers on First Impressions. The Travel Channel, the only network devoted exclusively to the world of travel.
8:51 left in the game from Miami, and Philadelphia has taken a 10-point lead on the Dolphins.
You know, when the Dolphins are punting the ball, see how Roby gets it off from a time standpoint? Coaches like to have him catch it at 1/8, that's fine. But they like to have it off around 2-0. Now, Roby's only a two-step kicker. He gets it off at 2-1, a little bit slow. That's why Wes Hopkins got close. But the reason why he doesn't get many kicks blocked, if we stop it right there, you see the difference? He doesn't get to the line, and he gets the ball up instead of out. That's the difference, and that's why he just doesn't get a lot of kicks blocked.
Eagles at their own 15. Sanders cuts it outside, met by a whole gang of Dolphin defenders at the line of scrimmage, led by John Offerdahl, who's had a big night.
Mike Westhoff, the special teams coach of the Miami Dolphins, likes to chains up. You know, you just don't line up 11 people and let them kick the ball or try and block a kick. There's a lot of research and study and film study that goes into it. There's a guy that works real hard.
Clock becomes a big factor now. 8:18 to go. Sanders, who's been very valuable tonight, trying to get outside, turns the corner, knocked out of bounds, shy of the 20. Good job by the Dolphins to string it out. Hugh Green and Jarvis Williams on that side.
Of course, now this is where the clock is not in the favor of a team who's behind, because until it gets down to the 5-minute mark, they're not going to stop it when it goes out of bounds. Normally, they'd be able to have it at 8:07. And the Eagles are just going to sit in that huddle and let the 25 seconds run down.
You see Sanders' numbers coming into this game. He carried the ball 4 times for 4 yards. He has been a factor tonight. 3rd and 5. Cunningham. So Shea got there, along with David Griggs, the second sack for the Dolphins. Big play. They had to force the punt.
The Dolphin defense did their job. Left side of your screen. Randall Cunningham's going to go back in the pocket. Take a look at the left side. See the pressure coming from up top? Nice job by the secondary not to allow the receivers open. Good job by Griggs and Sosha to make the play.
Eagles to punt. Cunningham has been sacked more than any other quarterback in the NFL. Now we have the clock stopped with 7:37 to go. We'll be back on a 4th and 15 in a moment.
Hello, friends. I just got back from a pleasure trip. Took my mother-in-law to the airport. I said to my mother-in-law, my house is your house. Last week she sold it. I don't lend money to my brother-in-law anymore. It gives him amnesia. I saw my brother-in-law whistling for a cab. He goes like this. Taxi. I got a very neat mother-in-law. She puts paper under the cuckoo clock.
The Subaru Legacy is a lot larger than the older Subaru. But people still think we're small and boxy. The Subaru Legacy is plush and comfortable. But people still think we're just basic transportation. With 93% registered in the last 10 years, still on the road. We hope our old image wears out a lot faster than our cars do.
Soldier Field, Chicago. Over 300 dead batteries and one die-hard battery. Our most powerful ever jump-starts every one. Die-hard. More power when you need it most.
I used to have dandruff, so I tried Head & Shoulders. Then I tried Selsun Blue. Blue is better.
Selsun Blue relieves dandruff flaking better than Head & Shoulders, and doctors recommend it more than Head & Shoulders, Denorex, and Tegrin.
Blue is better.
Selsun Blue.
Sunday night, the Chicago Bears fired up for this battle in the black and blue division. The Detroit Lions hoping to restore the roar. Live at 8 Eastern on ESPN Sunday Night NFL.
The Eagles fell behind 10-0. The only Miami scoring coming in the first quarter. Since then, it's been all Philadelphia. They lead 20-10. Here it's 4th and 15. Fiegels in the end zone. He became the punter when John Telchik was injured. Schwades waits back across midfield. Do the Dolphins come after this one? They don't. And Fiegels, who has shortened his kicking motion, gets it out of there. Pretty good kick. Schwades at the 40. Sidesteps one tackler across midfield to the Philadelphia 49. A return of 11 after a 51-yard punt. Harper LaBelle on special teams. There's a flag down back at the 10-yard line.
Punt was 50 yards. Return of 6 yards.
Ineligible man downfield. Good field position. What's Coach Schuler going to do? He says, listen, we got the ball at the 50. Let's keep it.
Ineligible downfield. Number 87 kicking team. Penalty decline. First down.
It's a nice job by Fiegels under pressure in his own end zone, getting off a 51-yard kick. Pictures you're seeing from the airship Shamu with us tonight. Traveling on behalf of SeaWorld. The pilot tonight, Alan Judd from Sydney, Australia. Anthony Stevenson of Gold Coast, Australia. 8,000 colored lights on that blimp. Looks like it's all set for Christmas. First time that either team has been able to start across the 50-yard line tonight, and the Dolphins couldn't have it come at a better time. Stratford got away from Waters and has the first down at the 39-yard line. Brought down by Eric Allen. Turned a 4-yard gain into about 12.
And the Eagles are causing Marino to make an awful lot of plays at the line of scrimmage, which is really playing into a defense's hand. When you line up in something and the quarterback starts to make a change, you have the ability to change out. He doesn't from a time factor.
Down to 6:37. Marino with 234 yards on the night. He does not have a 300-yard passing game this year. Four-man rush. Marino unloads, almost intercepted by Hopkins, who dove at the 20. The receiver never looked back.
He and Mark Duper have had a terrible time tonight communicating. We saw on the last third down, he threw one behind Duper. Duper has had a couple others where the ball has not been near him. I mean, he's a guy that Marino looks to, and if he's not available, you start to struggle.
He's the only veteran receiver he has with a lot of experience. Clayton, Banks, and Brown all injured. Duper is his go-to guy. He and Jensen coming out of the backfield. Marino had that one tipped at the line of scrimmage. Jerome Brown got the hand up. It will bring up 3rd and 10.
That's one of the things that happens to a stationary quarterback. Through the course of the game, the defensive linemen get a pace of your drop. They get an idea where you're going to go. They rush so far, and there you see Jerome Brown go up and time it because he knows, hey, I can't get to him, so let me just jump up and swat at it. Now, if you move around, they can't quite do that as easily. Dolphins are going to have to go for it on 4th if they don't make it here anyway.
Marino has not had good luck on 3rd down tonight. He needs it here. Throws complete to Pruitt inside the 20. Great throw, great catch. Frizzell was right there and couldn't stop it. What a throw under pressure, and Pruitt came up with a big grab.
Marino doing something very smart, getting the team to the line of scrimmage. They're going to run a hurry-up type offense.
And the officials aren't going to let him.
Well, I'll tell you who's not going to let him, Jerome Brown. He's standing right where they want to put the football. The officials are getting together to take a look at this. Coach Shula looked up in the stadium here and saw the replay. Saw, yeah, sure, it's a catch. Nice throw by Marino. Pruitt stretching out. Oh, yeah, he's got the ball.
That's a catch.
No question about it. Brown can't cause a fumble. He cradled it. Even if it did bounce up, can't cause the fumble. Watch this. There's the catch. The knee's on the ground. One knee equals 2 feet. Well, I'll tell you, Dan just absolutely has so much confidence in his ability to put the ball where he wants it.
Hopkins was in front, Frizzell behind.
First down. There's the catch. Sure it is. Absolutely. And a terrific one at that.
1st and 10 at the Eagle 19. 5:57 left. Jensen over the middle. I was just getting ready to say Jensen has not been a factor tonight, but you could see Marino was looking for him at the beginning of that play.
2 guys he has tremendous confidence in, Duper and Jensen, particularly down around the goal line. We saw him try to go to him earlier in the game. Here again, you can be sure he might try and get him out of the backfield.
Marino intended for Schwades. It looked like Brown knocked it down again. Stops the clock with 5:20 to go. Schwades is running off the field and holding his arm like he has a shoulder problem.
Well, he got tackled, and even though the ball went down, he took a shot and wound up jamming that shoulder into the ground anyway.
And the Dolphins are extremely thin at the receiver spot.
There's the play. There goes the right shoulder into the ground. Wes Hopkins just planted it.
2nd and goal from the 6. Incomplete. Martin. Hopkins may have gotten a handout, but it looked like the ball got there before Martin looked.
Hopkins is guessing. He's guessing when Marino's going to throw the ball. Dan holds it a second longer. He runs right in front. Martin doesn't even see it. I mean, if this thing had Velcro on it, it'd have stuck to his chest. Look at that. Hit him between the 8 and the 9. He just wasn't ready for it. Again, I have to say, this is a guy who's been a quarterback all his life, not a receiver.
It hit him before he had a chance to pick it up. Marino throws in the end zone. Super touchdown. What a job by Marino. Just running forward, as little a threat as he is to run. Moving toward the 5-yard line, everybody came up and Duper was wide open.
I think they were surprised to see Dan step up there, and he pumped. He looked at Jensen to the left and just gave it the old flick of the wrist for 6.
Stojanovic to make it a 3-point game. And that's what we have. 20-17. Plenty of time left. 5:10 on the clock. 5 for the touchdown.
Big third down catch by Pruitt.
Look at this. The two guys we have tonight, Cunningham and Marino, since '87, they are the only players close to Montana who has 100.
Both of them with 2 tonight, started the game at 92.
And Marino has been handicapped by the fact that he has not played with good teams, offensively or defensively. Numbers on Cunningham tonight. Thomas Sanders, the deep man, as Stojanovic kicks off. Short. Taken by one of the up men, Mike Bellamy. And Bellamy gets back across the 30-yard line before he's driven out of bounds. We will go to a Saturday schedule this coming week. NFL Game Day, a special edition at 11:30 Eastern. Then Sunday back to the regular schedule. Game Day at 12 noon. Then prime time at 7 o'clock. And at 8 o'clock at night, we will be in Detroit for the Bears against the run-and-shoot Detroit Lions. Neil Anderson and Barry Sanders, two of the premier backs in football. Cunningham to throw. Dumps it off. Byers makes the catch, wrapped up at the 35-yard line. Gain of 4. Griggs was all over him along with Jarvis Williams.
Oh, what a tremendous amount of confidence Randall Cunningham has in Keith Jackson and Keith Byers. He just puts the ball somewhere in the general vicinity. It's like he throws Mr. Robinson passes. You know, somewhere in the neighborhood. He's just going to put it there somewhere and let him come down with it.
Byers came up limping, and Mickey Schuler is checked into the game. The former Pro Bowler for the Jets. Byers stays in the ballgame, however. Sanders running hard across the 40 to the 44-yard line. First down, Eagles. They'll keep the sticks moving. We've hit 4 minutes.
Oh, and boy, did Keith Byers put a block on J.B. Brown. I mean, he blocked. We saw him block inside tight before on McKyer. Now he's split out. Sanders breaks it to the outside, and he just lays the lumber on J.B. Brown.
Clock ticking away.
You're the Dolphins. There comes a point where you have to gamble and go after Randall. You blitz for 2 reasons: to get to the quarterback and to stop the run.
The defense has to step up now. Sanders. Jarvis Williams came up from his safety spot to get there first. Remember, the Dolphins used a timeout earlier in this quarter. Don Shula checking the scoreboard.
Buddy Ryan watching the field. Now he checks it. Says 3-0, 302, 301. Randall keeping in a long time. No, that's about all the emotion you're going to see from Buddy. Yeah. Okay, guys, let's go. Watch out for the play action pass.
Over the middle of Byers, hit very hard as he got to the Dolphin 49-yard line. Offerdahl, Griggs, and Odom, the 3 linebackers right there. And Byers is taking a pounding tonight.
Remember, we saw the Eagles blitz Dan Marino in 3rd down to make him throw short. I feel like, although Olivadotti doesn't like to bring a lot of people, this would be the perfect opportunity to go after Cunningham and make him make a good throw or a break-off to 2 young wide receivers.
They don't have to run a play here. The play clock is at 16. They can let the clock go down to 2 minutes, and Miami not using a timeout to stop it. So everybody will have a chance to go to the sideline and talk about it on a big 3rd and 2. We've reached the 2-minute warning. The Eagles lead the Dolphins by 3. Hoping his defense will hold on 3rd and 2. Buddy Ryan hoping for one more first down. It might wrap it up. Cunningham, the blitz is on. Look out. The master of the big play. Floats it for Sanders. Incomplete, almost intercepted. Jarvis Williams had a shot at it, couldn't come down with it.
Oliver Dottie's defense, he did exactly what he had to do. He took a chance, and the Dolphin defense met the challenge. Jarvis Williams, trying to make the play, is still down on the field. And the ground can beat you up as bad as anybody in this business. Randall Cunningham doing a great job to escape the pressure. There comes Hugh Green from the outside. Griggs from the other side. Now, Griggs has got him, or so he thought. Cunningham looking. Just can't put enough touch on the ball. He's got Tony running down the field. Excuse me, Sanders running down. Jarvis Williams takes a shot from Sanders as well as the ground. Got a little bit of that Lou Carnesecca in him, you know. He's got the sweater on. He's running up and down. Not enough body language to be like that. They got a little bit in him.
Williams may have landed on the football.
Now, well, Thomas Sanders hit him pretty hard, too, when he was on the ground. So, between the ground and Sanders.
That was the first incomplete pass Cunningham has thrown in this half. Stratford is back to receive the punt. Cunningham on the sideline. Worked a lot of time off the clock. It's down to 1:49. If you had to vote for an MVP in professional football right now, Randall Cunningham would get most of the ballots.
Yeah, he should. I mean, he is, like I say, I mean, if you're going to think of a couple words to describe him, he's the ultimate weapon.
Schwade's hurt his shoulder. He's out, so Stratford will have to go back to the 10-yard line. Eagles send a man in motion. They were trying to draw the Dolphins offside on a 4th and 2.
Miami layup game. Offense.
Right after our game at Sports Center, Bob Lee and Dan Patrick will be along with all the day's sports and a conversation with Tommy Lasorda. Then at midnight, NFL Primetime, Chris Berman and everyone else will be there to wrap up week number 14 in the National Football League. Buddy Ryan in his 5th year. He likes this football team. He likes the personality of it, the people he has on it. 4th and 7, Spiegels the punt. Stratford at the 10. Pretty kick. Fair catch, made at the 11. Spiegels, 41-yard punt, no return, and 1:41 to go for Dan Marino and the Dolphin offense. There's the situation. Miami trying to stay in touch with Buffalo. They will meet the Bills later at Orchard Park. And there it is. That's the big game of the year, December 23rd. Ought to be a little nippy, December 23rd at Buffalo.
Yeah, but I'll tell you somebody you can't look by is Dave Craig and those Seattle Seahawks. They're laying in the weeds waiting for somebody to overlook them.
They finally had a game that wasn't decided on the last play. It went down to the last play, but at least it wasn't decided then.
Chuck Knox finally had a chance to take a breath.
You're going to have to get Chuck a pacemaker. 1:41 to go. The Dolphins have 2 timeouts. They are going into the wind. Reggie White gets the sack. He got some help from Jerome Brown.
Dan Marino gets a chance to perform his magic now. You practice this all year, right in the beginning of training camp. You work on the 2-minute offense.
Actually, that turned into a gain of 1 as Marino scrambled forward. Jensen trying to get to the sticks. He needed to reach the 22, maybe a little shy of it. Seth Joyner made the saving tackle. They have to get the first down, and they do. They'll mark it a first down. Clock running 1:04. Marino sidearm to Pruitt. He dives forward near the 35. Brought down by Izell Jenkins.
They have 2 timeouts left, and they still don't need to use them. They have plenty of time. They're going to have to get about a 15-yard completion here. Get themselves in an area where they'll have a chance.
Marino scrambles, dumps to Jensen. It's another first down at the 49. Clock down to 36. Ken Rose made the tackle.
Now he'll ground the ball to stop the clock.
And does at 28. Well, it's been pretty to watch so far. They have executed it beautifully.
Dan Marino's moved around very well. The Eagles, again, the prevent defense is something that baffles me. There they are. They're rushing 3 and 4 people, dropping 7 back into coverage, and Marino's just sliding around, dinking and dunking. Now, they're going to have to move at least 20, 25 yards. I believe that if they try to kick the ball outside of 35 into this wind, not much of a chance of making it.
Dan Marino has his first 300-yard game of the season. And he still needs some more. Blitz, Frizzell coming. Marino unloads, threw that one away. No flag. The Eagles want one. And it will bring up 3rd and 10. White was putting the pressure on again. There's Stoyanovich. He will have to kick a field goal into the wind, although it is swirling down on the stadium floor.
It's pretty strong from, I mean, the stadium is closed. There are no open doors like in Giant Stadium, where they sometimes forget to close it.
He's got a great leg, though. 59-yarder a year ago.
3rd down. 2 downs, 23 seconds, 2 timeouts. Plenty of time.
It's been on the line of scrimmage. Here comes everybody. He unloads, and there was contact downfield. Jenkins and Pruitt ran together, and there is no flag. The Dolphins sideline is going nuts.
And you know what they're going to call? Uncatchable ball.
Well, it was after he got hit.
That's what'll happen. There's Pruitt coming down the field. Now, Jenkins has as much right to that piece of turf as anybody. See, that's not pass interference. I'm sorry. The defensive man has a right to establish position. If the offensive man runs into him, it is not defensive pass interference. I mean, it looks like, and you say, oh, gosh, you can't do it. But Jenkins hardly moved from that spot.
4th down. 10 yards to go. Play clock went to 0. They just got it off, trying to keep it alive. Duper made the catch at the 38. Holy cow, 1st down with 13 seconds left.
They need one more completion so they can use the timeout and give Stoyanovich the opportunity to kick it. They need about 10 more yards to give him a good shot at tying this one up.
From right here, it would be a 55-yard attempt. The wind swirling and the flags on the goalpost now show it's going against Miami.
If you're the Eagles, you got to blitz. If you're the Dolphins, you got to hold Jensen in the backfield to help out for protection.
Three-man rush. Marino rifles one. Duper, contact and interference. Ben Smith didn't turn around.
I'll tell you, Eagles better be careful. They're going to tack an unsportsmanlike on top of it.
Pass interference, number 26 defense, 1st down.
All night they've been picking on Ben Smith. He comes up to make contact on Duper. Now you see he has his back to him completely. I mean, if Smith tries at all to make a play on the ball, they'll call it incidental contact. He just turned around and ran into him.
7 seconds to go. Stoyanovich on to try from 34 yards to tie it up. He's got it. A courageous last-minute drive by the Miami Dolphins. And we have 3 seconds left in regulation.
A courageous 4th quarter. The defense did a great job of giving the offense a chance to score. They got the touchdown when they had to set up the opportunity to do this, to kick the field goal and send this baby into OT. There's Coach Hill. Now you're looking more like Lou. Now you're bouncing up and down the sidelines.
But he's not going to bounce on this one at all.
Oh. Boy, and that's the most reaction I've seen from Buddy Ryan in a long time. Of course, with the Redskins winning today, the premium falls on the Eagles to keep pace in that wild card race and not fall back one behind.
Stoyanovich has been a clutch kicker for this ball club. And let's see if they'll go with the squib with 3 seconds left to send it into overtime.
Oh, I don't think they'll kick it deep.
That was the longest Dolphin drive of the game, 71 yards in 10 plays, and they did it in 1:38. Everything they had to do, they did.
Everybody who's a big play guy on the Dolphins made one. Jensen made one, Marino made some great throws, and Duper made a great catch on 4th down.
Low line drive kick. Sanders at the 9. Jensen hit him, he got away. Good tough run by Sanders, but he stopped at the 32, and we will go to the extra 15-minute period. A lot of people, maybe 1,000, got up and walked out when it was 20-10. Those are the people in their cars right now going, oh, why did we leave early?
Yeah, I'll tell you what you're doing. If you look at the aisles a little bit now, a few of them have turned the engines back off and decided they want to come back in and see this.
There's still time to get back in from the parking lot.
Lots of key plays in that drive, but really the one that sets it up for him is this on Ben Smith. You see him get his hands on Duper in the legal area. Now he's moving down the field, slows up a little bit to make a play on the ball. Ben Smith never really turns around and has a chance at it. And you can see the flag coming out right away.
Here's the point toss. Jerome Brown out there representing the Eagles. They win the toss. I'd be afraid to lose the toss here.
They hit you.
We go to overtime. 2020, Miami, and the Dan Marino, what he did in the last minute.
It really was. We talked about it right at the top of the show that if somebody's going to win this football game, if the Dolphins have a chance to win it, it's going to go on the shoulders of Dan Marino. We saw with 1:41 to go, 2 timeouts, what every coach and quarterback practices, the perfect 2-minute drill to tie the game up.
From a yardage standpoint, and from completions and attempts, all season highs for Dan Marino. 23 of 43, 322 yards. But Randall Cunningham will get the first shot on offense. And often that's enough. Stoyanovich, who kicked the winning field goal. Kicking to Thomas Sanders, who waits at the 1. Or the tying field goal, the one that sent it into overtime. Crushes this one. Sanders a couple of yards deep. Almost. Almost. Well, he had a hitch in his get-along like 3 different times.
Well, yeah, no, well, yeah, no. Okay, no, well, no. Kenny Jackson's back there telling him, stay there. Stay there. Stay there. No, stay. What are you going to do? Okay, stop. Now remember, the Eagles are working into that wind we talked about. The Dolphins have it at their back.
Cunningham underneath. Complete to the 27-yard line is tight end Keith Jackson, Griggs, and Odom on the stop.
There went the running game. We've seen the Eagles try and pound it out. Now they're just out to win the ball game.
The Eagles haven't played an overtime game in 2 years. The Dolphins haven't had one since October of last year. The numbers on Cunningham. Sanders on the toss. McKyer did a nice job coming up, forcing the play, as did Griggs. They didn't make the tackle, but they forced the play. who made the tackle. Well, Offerdahl was over there again. He has been all night.
A lot of teams are right-handed. By that I mean they put the tight end on the right side, whether he's moving or not, and then they run behind him. There's a nice job by Keith Jackson on Griggs. Just enough to occupy him to get Sanders outside.
It's 3rd and inches. Cunningham sneaks, and he has the first down. Shula going for a win 295 tonight.
With the off week, Coach Shula's had his family in. David came in, Mike came in, had an early Christmas, had all the grandkids. Well, I'll tell you, he'd love to put this game ball under the Christmas tree. Of course, Buddy Ryan wants to do everything he can to put some coal in his stocking.
Wants to be the Grinch. Play clock down to 5 seconds. On 1st and 10. Flag is down. So is Sanders. And another flag is down. Oliver came up hard to make the tackle. We will check both penalties. Here's Jerry Seaman, our referee.
We have delay of game offense. Also, there was an illegal shift, but the ball was not legally snapped because of the delay of game. Consequently, the foul is only on the offense.
Got that?
Jerry puts up a pretty good explanation.
That was an excellent explanation. What happened is because there was a delay of game, anything that happened after that doesn't count. So the penalty for the illegal shift is not assessed, just the 5 yards.
1st and 15 for the Eagles. Griggs can't get Cunningham. Randall takes a shot, stays on his feet, and drives forward to the 34-yard line. Cliff Odom, T.J. Turner finally get in on the tackle. Just about everybody had a shot at him.
Alfred Oglesby winds up getting involved and hitting him. And it's amazing. The defensive guys, look at this. They hit him, they sandwich him. He bounces up, and both the defensive guys are still on the ground saying, oh, gee whiz, that's hurt.
Of course, he comes by his running honestly. His brother Sam had 5,453 yards rushing. Randall may catch him as a quarterback. 2nd and 7, Keith Jackson leans for the first down. Excuse me, Fred Barnett leans for the first down and has it.
Oh, did you see these guys are rookies. Are you kidding me? He and Williams are rookies. I mean, they're both fast, but watch what he does with the football after he catches it. First of all, it's a great catch. Randall sitting strong in the pocket, showing he's the complete quarterback, reaches up, look at that, but look what he does. Reaches out to try and get that extra yardage.
Barnett's first reception of the night. Sanders across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Here's where fatigue can be a factor, especially for the Dolphin defense. They've been on the field a long time.
Yeah, but not in the 4th quarter. They got a real lift when they stopped the Eagles, got that touchdown, and then that minute and 41 seconds, the drive that Marino took them at the end of the game, another blow for the defense. They've been sitting there getting pumped up. Right now, the adrenaline's carrying you.
2nd and 8. Comes the blitz. Picked it up well, and the pass is complete into Dolphin territory and very close to another first down. Jackson gobbled that one up. And Kerry Glenn is slow getting up. Here's how we reached this point. The Dolphins jumped on top in a hurry. Martin on the 28-yard touchdown pass from Marino. Then Stoyanovic's field goal made it 10-0 first quarter. Back came the Eagles. Byers caught a touchdown pass from Cunningham. And then Ruzek, a career-long 53-yard field goal to tie it. Ruzek again, this time from 33, and the Eagles took the lead for the first time. They made it a 10-point lead when Williams caught the bomb from Cunningham on a flea flicker. And then Duper, 6 yards from Marino to cut it to 3, and Stojanovic in the closing seconds of regulation tied it.
That flea flicker has been good to so many teams. Last week we saw the Minnesota Vikings, Anthony Carter, make a sensational catch. In this game we saw Calvin Williams make a great catch. I can't understand why it wasn't very good to me. The flea flicker ended my career, and it's extended a lot of other guys.
We'll check on Louis Oliver when we come back. We're tied in overtime.
Take your average family trip.
In time, right after that. Our situation here, overtime, tied at 20. 10:08 on the clock. The Eagles with a 1st and 10 at the Miami 46-yard line. Cunningham deep over the middle. Jackson can't get there. He was open at the 10, being covered by linebacker Cliff Odom. That's a tough assignment.
Well, it really is. You know, Keith had him beaten. He knows it, too. Randall's been a little bit strong. We saw the pass when he scrambled around before in the 4th quarter, threw it a little far. Here he just releases up the field on a fly. Odom is in no way going to stay with him. Randall wishes he has that one back.
Cliff Odom is a 10-year, 243-pound linebacker. He's not going to run with Keith Jackson. 2nd and 10, fake the reverse. Sanders keeps it, didn't fool anybody. David Griggs did his job.
Boy,
made the tackle.
Has he played a ball game tonight, putting pressure on Cunningham, staying home on fake reverses, filling holes, putting pressure on the quarterback, done it all.
Louis Oliver, who was shaken up earlier, back in the Miami lineup. He helped out on that one, too. 3rd and 9 from the Miami 45. There goes Cunningham to the 40. It's not enough. It will be 4th and 4. Griggs and Odom sandwiched it. And the Eagles don't even consider it. They send on the punt team with Jeff Fiegel. Ruzek will have to wait. Troy Stratford and Jarvis Williams, a double safety. Fiegels end over end. Fair catch signal. Williams was bumped into, and a flag goes down. That will be interference on Kenny Jackson.
Kenny Jackson, for some reason or other, absolutely lost sight of the return man. Now, that's a good play if the return man doesn't try and make a play on the ball. But when a guy's standing there trying to catch it, you can't take it away from him.
Fair catch interference. Kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the spot. 1st down.
Boy, that gets them out of a hole. Instead of the 10, they'll go to the 25.
There's the signal for the fair catch. He's standing. I don't want Kenny Jackson. Kenny's trying to catch it, too. Can't do that. Friend of Randall. Cannot do that. Keeps making plays like that, he will just be the friend of Randall.
Eagles 9 tonight for 76 yards, the most penalized team in the league. Ball spotted at the 26. Marino, who has engineered 10 points late, will have another chance. Low snap, came up with it. Near sideline to Duper. Close to another 1st down. Allen drove him out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 9. Miami scored on its first 2 drives tonight. Miami has scored on its last 2 drives.
You got to believe that Dan Marino is just thrilled that there can be pressure on him because he's that kind of a player. This is a game that he knew it was on his shoulders to win for his football team, and he's really coming through.
2nd and a yard. They'll try to get the first down. Stratford does, and more. Broke the tackle, got to the 45-yard line. A gain of 10 for Stratford. Byron Evans made the tackle. Stratford's come up big in the second half tonight. He just wants to have a healthy year for a change. Ryan hoping his defense can dig in. Marino avoids the blitz, and Stratford can't hold this one.
Yeah, I don't understand why the Eagles just don't keep on doing that. You can't block all the people they're bringing. That means that every receiver or back, somebody's going to have to catch the ball 5, 6, 7 yards down the field. What they're doing here with the defense is the Eagles are picking their spots and trying to put pressure. Here comes the pressure. See? They're putting a lot of pressure on him. That way he has to get rid of the football quick. It would only be a 2 or 3 yard completion if it was complete.
2nd and 10. 4-man rush. Marino with time for Farrell Edmonds. Broke it up. And that was Seth Joyner who was with him man for man. What great coverage by Joyner.
We saw Odoms trying to cover Jackson before. That was a mismatch. This is not. Seth Joyner keeps his hands all over Farrell Edmonds. Look at him get up in the air.
Boy, that's the second time we've seen him do that tonight. Everybody that sees him play says he's got to be in the Pro Bowl, but you say it to him and he says, no, I want the Super Bowl.
It's the first one. The second one be okay. The first one is the Super Bowl. Wants to be in Tampa.
He works as a cameraman for a TV station in Philadelphia, WCAU. 3rd and 10 for the Dolphins. Marino off the hands of Pruitt. Covered by Izell Jenkins. Well, we're seeing good play on both sides of the ball.
We really are. I mean, Marino putting the ball right where it has to be. Izell Jenkins, or known to his teammates as Crazy Cat, gets up in the air. Look at him. He goes up, just does manage to deflect it. Now, you say, well, he really didn't get his hands on the ball, but it's enough of a distraction so that the receiver can't concentrate and bring it in.
Roby will punt. Harris waiting at the 15. Returnable kick. Harris back to the 14-yard line. And Harris gets it out across the 20 to the 24. Return of 11 after a 42-yard punt. E.J. Jr. again down on special teams for Miami. Here is the wild card playoff standings as they shape up right now. Washington went ahead of Philadelphia this afternoon. The Eagles need to win to stay with them. But behind them, 4 teams at 6 and 7. So right now, the Redskins and the Eagles in good shape for the playoffs.
I'll tell you, one red-hot team is the Dallas Cowboys. And there you see who the Eagles play. They have an opportunity to make some moves because they're playing the people ahead of them.
And they can put those people out of the playoffs. Behind Byers. Coverage by Jarvis Williams, and he helps up Keith. Clock down to 6:53.
This would not be a good exchange for the Eagles if they don't get some first downs. They're going to be punting into a breeze. That would give the Dolphins excellent field position, and Stoyanovich already kicked 2 out of 3 over 50 yards.
And has a 59-yarder career long, so he can reach it from almost anywhere. 2nd and 10. Cunningham on the scramble. Ducks under a tackle, got to the 34-yard line. That will be a yard shy of a first down.
wanders over to talk to the coaches, get the play. Clock just ticking away.
Third down. They mark it back near the 33, so it's almost 2 yards to go for the first down. Crowd on its feet. Incomplete, fires. The pass was a little high, maybe a little behind him. He couldn't hold it. And Cunningham was under great pressure as the Dolphins collapsed the pocket.
You know, the thing is I know they keep crossing people underneath and they get the opportunity to dunk the ball off. But Randall's much more of a threat when he's moving around a little bit. Jeff Cross just does manage to get a hand on him. And I believe the Dolphins got to be thrilled that he chose to stay in the pocket.
Feagles on to punt for the 7th time. Troy Stratford back at his 27-yard line. Kicking into the wind. He kicks it off the ground. What an incredible play by Feagles. There is a flag down. And that is going to be an illegal play on Feagles. That is illegally kicking a football, even for a punter.
We remember the rule from the Kenny Stabler era. Advancing the ball and kicking it.
Illegally kicking the ball. Number 5, kicking team. He kicked the ball while it was loose on the ground. He had not controlled it. The penalty would be declined. First down.
But Feagles did everything he could. He picks it up. He's stuck.
I'll tell you something. He really does. I mean, the snap is low, and he just kicks it. Does a heck of a job to get it off. I mean, it may have been a penalty. This ball barely gets off the ground. He does a nice job. Pruitt comes in to put pressure on him. He's going to try and block it.
If he doesn't do that, the Dolphins are in field goal range to win it.
Right now they are. You're right.
Harper LaBelle snapped that punt low. So whether he got a penalty or not, he did the right thing. Marino from the 43. Dumps it to Stratford. Midfield to the Philadelphia 45-yard line. Seth Joyner made the tackle. A gain of 12.
Dan Marino is relaxed as can be, totally in charge. Got to feel so good about the fact that this game is in his hands. His defense has done a terrific job containing Randall Cunningham.
Marino, 25 of 51, 343 yards. Blitz. Cooper to the 31-yard line. Eric Allen had him but couldn't stop him. A gain of 13.
That time they went after him with the blitz. Duper made the nice break-in route with the catch. Picks up a lot of yardage.
Duper, 7 catches, 85 yards.
Duper's going to run it in here. They're bringing people to try and get him. Good pocket for Marino. Sets there. Good route by Duper. Just breaks in, turns Allen right around.
Duper now number 2 all-time receiving yards to Mark Clayton. Marino just tried to get rid of that one before the pressure. Logan was wide open, but they were coming hard, and he did not want to take the sack.
I got to believe the Eagles just have to keep throwing it. They have got to get a sack to take them out of field goal range. At least make Stoyanovich kick one over 50 yards if they're going to have to try and beat them.
Right now, it would be approximately 48 yards with something of a helping wind.
Dan Marino, on the other hand, has got to be real careful. He does not want to take any negative yardage.
Stoyanovich, an 8th-round draft choice out of Indiana a year ago. Stratford, they stay on the ground. He got back to the line of scrimmage and no more. The Eagles' defensive front stiffened. So the Dolphins apparently deciding to go with the conservative approach get the ball in the middle of the field, maybe pick up a couple of more yards.
I don't understand that one. You know, I mean, you've been throwing the ball. You come out on 2nd down and 10 at the 30-yard line, and you take the ball out of the hands of the guy who can pick up the most yards for you, Dan Marino. I mean, if they're blitzing, there's not going to be a crease to go through anyway.
3rd and 9. They go to the shotgun. Chad Stampy comes up with it. Here's the blitz. Marino unloads, complete to the 22-yard line. Jensen made the catch.
Isaiah Jenkins puts a hit on Dan Marino.
It is not a first down.
And Crash makes a great catch. They didn't get the first down, so they're going to try a field goal.
But instead of 47 yards, it will be a 39-yard field goal attempt. Stoyanovich, 2 for 2 tonight. 24 and 34 yards. Dolphins win it in overtime.
Pete Stoyanovich with the field goal. Eagles selling out to try and put it through. They couldn't block it. Nice job. Nice job by Sequels to get the ball down. They know that's good as soon as it comes off his foot.
And so did Don Shula, who wins his 295th game. And Stoyanovich might be one of the most valuable 8th-round draft choices the Dolphins have ever had. He is 20 of 22 this year, and Buddy Ryan sees his hopes of a win on the road go down the drain. Marino, 365 yards tonight, his first 300-yard game, but far more impressively than that, he got the yardage when he needed to get it. 10 points in the 4th quarter and the field goal in overtime. Brilliant performance by Dan Marino. Our final score, Miami 23, Philadelphia 20. For Joe Theismann and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Patrick. Good night from Miami.